What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Casually Chelsea show. I know it's been a while, my apologies. The Conference League matches really make it difficult to fit in the show like I regularly used to. But we are here, I made it happen, and you guys are here. Big up to yourselves. Be sure to smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel. And if you are already a subscriber, consider joining our memberships, as we have 4 different tiers starting at 99p, and at the lowest tier you get this the funnest part, I think, of the membership, which is the emojis. But there's other perks as well. As long as you read those memberships, you'll see them. I'm accompanied here by Real Chris and Oliver. We'll have more guests, I'm sure, later on in the show, but we have a jam-packed show for you guys, lots to discuss, and we'll start off with our very first topic here. And I already forgot how to do this thing, but it's okay. We'll start out with our very first topic here, which is new keeper rules. So listen, it's been a month. I'm just trying to bring back some topics, how to decipher a few things and such. Trying to bring back some topics that I would like to, discuss with the panel and get opinions out there on that we didn't get a chance to discuss in the previous 3 weeks to month since the last show. But yeah, the new keeper rules, according to Time Sport, referees will award a corner to the opposition if goalkeeper holds the ball for too long, under new system being considered by football's lawmakers. Goalkeepers would not be allowed to hold the ball for longer than 8 seconds. So, simple way to say it is that I guess instead of getting a yellow card for holding on to the ball for too long, you award the opposite team a corner, which I'm sure Arsenal fans, except for today, or prior to today, would have really, really enjoyed that rule change for sure. But, I mean, boys, what do we think of this?
There's 2 sides to me on this one. I'm thinking, don't change football. Just keep it like how it is, like yellow card. But then again, it would punish the goalkeepers and teams who were trying to waste time, and then we get a corner or something, or the opponent gets a corner. And I think it's actually, I don't know if this actually happened. This was posted on the 5th of December. I haven't really seen much news about this, but
yeah.
I wouldn't actually. I would say I wouldn't mind the idea, but I don't know if it actually happened. I think it would be a good rule to actually change up and stop time wasters, because you know how annoying it can be sometimes when you're all over the team, right, and they're just wasting time. Either how they can do it, but goalkeeper, they do it quite a lot, and it's obviously a good tactic for keepers to do, but they might not do this as much if this happens, of course, because a corner you can get a goal, especially if you're Arsenal or something. I think I'll be all favor for that though, Marshall.
What about you, Oliver? What do you think about this rule change? Or potential rule change, I should say, because we don't know.
Yeah.
Or not.
I've just got questions. First of all, isn't there already the 6-second rule? What is this actually solving here? Because what the rule should be is that the goalkeeper has 6 seconds to release the ball, and if not, then an indirect free kick is awarded to the opposition. So, what is this actually solving? And then also, if we were to implement this rule, say the goalkeeper picked up the goalkeeper's holding onto the ball in the dead center of not left, not right, but dead center of the goal in line. What side do you award the corner? Do you award it to the left corner or the right corner? It's just more questions than answers for me. I don't know what this is solving. If referees just implemented the 6-second rule better, then this wouldn't even be a discussion. So
that is a very good
I'm just
point.
more confused.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point about implementing the 6-second rule a little better, because I feel like there's a lot of rules that we have in football currently that, for example, you're supposed to get a yellow if you simulate, right? We don't enforce that enough. And I'm sure there's other ones too that I can't think of off the top of my head. But it's things like that the refereeing is always going to be questionable here in the UK. And as a result, things like this do come up, and you do have a lot of questions because of the inconsistencies that happen here in the UK. Well, I say here, I'm in the US, but that happen in the Premier League. So
proper Chelsea, mate. You live next to the bridge.
Proper Chelsea. Yeah, of course I do. I live right next door. That's why my house is blue.
Yeah.
But personally, I think I think maybe test this in other leagues first and see how it goes.
What do you mean
as
other
of
leagues?
Right now,
Who's like any
like
big leagues? Tell me.
lower leagues. Like you can test this in
youth football.
Youth football. You can test this in the female division as well. Maybe test it in
female.
MLS, stuff like that.
What about championship?
You could test it in championship too. Why not?
No, that's too high level. They don't test this kind of stuff out in the championship.
Maybe division.
They go far more. They go far more like grassroots level when it comes to rule changes. Yeah. They won't do the championship.
I think it's a good idea though. I'll be honest. Like I know it's like a bit of a difference, like yellow card to a corner, but it'll stop keepers wasting time. I tell you that they won't do it as much unless they feel confident they can defend it.
That's the point of it, right? But then there's the logistics, like what Oliver said, is what side is it going to be on.
I mean,
this is something you can avoid if you actually
what side it'll be on.
Second roll. What?
Like the 6-yard box, depending where the keeper kicks it, where he's wasting time, it's going to be on that side because there's two sides technically. You can do it.
Yeah, but what if he's in the middle of the goal?
50-50, man. You just pick one.
What do you just flip a coin?
Whatever the ref feels, man. On the day, Anthony Taylor might be a penalty spot.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's more questions than answers with this one, in my opinion. I understand the idea of it, and I think it's a potential solution, but I don't think it's the solution, and that's kind of where. I mean, I guess we can try it, but let's do the other divisions first, other leagues, see how it works out before we implement it into the UK, because you guys already know.
I mean,
like
what other way can
earlier,
you really tackle them time wasting of a yellow card and the corner? You can't give them a indirect free kick or a penalty. You can't send them off.
I don't know. That's not my job. That's their job, and that's
I can't lie.
Job
That's probably one of the better options, though. I would say that's why I'm kind of all.
I get it, but I want to see how it's implemented first, because I feel
maybe
like
give the manager a yellow card too.
Right now, with the way things are in the UK, I feel like implementing this right now would only cause more controversy than help. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it definitely will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why maybe just leave it, or just do that way.
And by the way, to answer someone's question, here we go. Here it is. I'm gonna go with Fury. I think Fury is just he's got the narrative behind his back, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't say Happy New Year
You guys got it in the background, by the way?
What, a fight?
Yeah.
I do not.
Oh, okay. I have it.
Everyone's in the Jose stream. I got you. When's it happening? The fight?
It's they're announcing it right now.
Oh shit!
Like the fighters. Okay. Anyways, let's move on to the next topic I have for you guys, or for us, for all of us here, which is the Abramovic investigation. Now, I touched upon this a little bit in a stream previously. I think it was a call-in show, but I wanted to make an actual segment for it here on the Casually Chelsea show. So let's go ahead and read this up real quick. The latest on the Abramovic era investigation. It's absolute nonsense to be talking about potential points deductions happening immediately when no charges even exist yet, as the Premier League are still investigating. This is not like Forest or Everton, which were charged as part of the current PSR cycle. Even if today Chelsea were charged and we don't know yet, there would have to be a hearing, and it would have to drag on for a significant period of time. You are probably looking at a minimum of 2 years before anything is concluded if Chelsea are charged from the Abramovic era. And if that hypothetical happens, Clearlake Bully would fully cooperate as they did with UEFA, which can potentially lessen the severity of the punishment. First, we have to see if Chelsea can have been charged. Then we have to wait and see if it's a hearing or a settlement, as they agreed with UEFA. And then the whole process would need to run its course. But you can't have a punishment or something you can't have been even charged with. And to top off this with a little bit of an update, we have this right here. Saif Ruby has dropped his legal claim against Chelsea over the disputed transfer of Kurt Zouma to West Ham. This is partially to do with one of those charges, I believe. There's also the one with, Willian, and I forget who else was the other player involved with that, shady transfer. There's a Christensen stuff as well. So there's a few other things. Yeah, there's a few other things going on with that case. But as of right now, nothing is going to happen to Chelsea. It's going to take a long time. You guys see what's going on with Man City and 130 charges, which it used to be 115, now it's 130.
How the fuck did
That
they go
stuff-
to 130?
I don't know. They must have found more cases. They already had the hearing, by the way. They already had the hearing for it, and now it's a matter of the verdict coming, I think, the following November. So, yeah, it's going to take time until we hear anything with this. These court cases take time. These legal bouts take time. And so, yeah, right now we don't even know what Chelsea is technically being charged with. It's all, rumor, hearsay, accusation, all that kind of stuff. And, we'll see what happens. But what do you guys think of these updates? Anything to worry about? Anything to really discuss?
Like you said, I don't know, if Chelsea actually got charged with a serious, punishment. It's going to be, in 2 years as well? It's just going to take time. I honestly think probably the worst Chelsea get to is because Todd Bowley and Egbali are actually cooperating with UEFA and all that type of shit. I think it'd be like a fine or something, to be honest. I don't think it'd be something too serious because we actually reported on ourselves, right? Last year or whatever it was. So
yeah, we kind of.
And it wasn't this new ownership who did it. It wasn't this new Chelsea team who did it. I've seen Man City do stuff in the past and just get a fine. And they're still getting fined for other stuff as well. I think this would just be a fine and not too serious. I'm not really that worried about it, to be honest. And if we do get a point deduction, I reckon it won't be that too big anyway, to be honest, whenever it happens. So, yeah, I'm not worried, to be honest. I don't think any Chelsea fan should be worried, really.
Yeah, considering... it's a few things. It's transfer business and shady money and stuff. I don't see it being anything super serious that'll get us relegated or something. Maybe some points deductions, who knows, or maybe a giant fine from the UEFA, or is it UEFA or FA or both? Maybe both.
Might even be a transfer 6 months or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be a ban, and as of right now, where we stand with the team, I don't think a transfer ban is going to really affect us that much.
That's what I mean. If it's transfer, I'm not worried.
Yeah. Camille, we are, but also smash up the like, people, if you haven't done so already. But anyways, that being said, with this whole situation too, I think part of the reason it's going to take a while too is because it has to do with Abramovic and seeing that his situation and what's going on with him, probably getting representatives for him or his side of things, and that worked out makes it a lot more complicated. That would be my 2 cents on it. That might be part of the reason that's, it's going to take a while as well. But I mean, Oliver, do you have any thoughts on this whole situation and the updates that we have from it?
I don't think Abramovic's a factor. We're getting investigated, or whatever the process is. Chelsea Football Club is involved in that, not Roman Abramovich. They don't care who the owner was. If they cared who the owner was, then we wouldn't be getting investigated, or there wouldn't be a possibility of charges, because this ownership didn't commit the offences or the alleged offences. So I don't think that's it. I think it's just a simple matter of these things do take time. And listen, you're going to have your Everton fans and your Nottingham Forest fans and even your Leicester fans who apparently they're due a points deduction. They're going to come and say, oh, Big Six bias because the City thing's taking long and our thing's taking long. But their thing took long as well. This Everton stuff, they got deducted last season. That wasn't stuff from a year ago. This is stuff from 4 or 5, maybe even more years ago. So this stuff just naturally over the course, it takes time to investigate, get all the evidence together that you need, and then eventually come to some sort of verdict. So that's just the nature of what we're dealing with here, and it's really nothing more than that. I guess the only other thing is I can't remember the guy's name, but the Zuma transfer to West Ham. I don't know if you have any other news on this, but I'll just say it in case you don't. What's happening with that guy? So what's happening with that guy is he was suing Chelsea. No.
Oh. Okay.
Well, what it was, he was suing Chelsea and Marina Granovskaya. Now he's just pursuing Marina Granovskaya. So this is a a thing between them two specifically. We just basically left the equation as an entity now.
Oh, okay. Well, shit.
I don't know any more. I don't know any more besides that. I mean, I remember he said something about Rudiger in an interview. I think we talked about it at the time. I can't remember what he said, but I think it was about like
third-party involvement.
He said something about like how we didn't offer Rudiger what he wanted, or something like he knew that, or Marina was something like that. We definitely covered it. I can't remember when it was, but we did cover it on the show.
Okay.
But I don't really know much more about the case apart from that. But the fact of the matter is, the football club's now out of the equation, and it's just between Marina and this person.
Okay, fair enough. And Marina, you know what to do when you get to court.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
There you go. Perfect strategy for when you're in court. But yeah, I'm sure this will come up again at some point. We'll see something about it, especially for the club charges. But yeah, these things are going to take time, as you guys already know.
Tic tac.
But yeah, we'll come back to this. We'll, like I said previously, we'll see with updates what happens. Last time we had this come up, now we have these updates. So we'll keep you guys informed on that, whatever we find. Let's go on to the next topic here, which is another thing that has returned to the limelight. But this time it's a little bit more info than what we had before. So Super League is coming back, apparently. Well, not coming back, but news of the Super League is leaking out again. So from the Sam Wallace on the Telegraph reporting here that the European Super League is back, rebranded as the Unity League, ready to challenge UEFA's Champions League preeminence with a claim that it will be free to watch, which that's nice. I wonder where it'll be free to watch. The new proposal, which follows on from the original bombshell Super League proposals in April 2021, have scrapped the notion that certain clubs qualify automatically every year. Instead, there's a proposal annual qualification for all 4 leagues within the Unity League by the organizers behind it. So there's a proposed annual qualification for all 4 leagues. So I'm assuming like a playoff to get into the European Super League and then go from there. That's how I'm reading.
So what it means by what it means by the all 4 leagues, that's basically like how in UEFA you have the Champions League, the Europa League, the Europa Conference. It's just tiers, basically. I can't remember what exactly they're each called. I know they did a press release a few months ago, I think, and they actually outlined the structure. I can't remember what they named it, but it's basically that same idea where you've got like an A tier, a B tier, a C tier, like where UEFA have the Champions League as the big top one, and then like the Conference League is the worst one. Yeah,
that's interesting. That's an interesting way to go about it. I mean, considering now that at the time that this was proposed, the Champions League still had the group stages. Now it's a league table. Maybe that's kind of the idea behind it, that now that this has been updated, we're going to reformat this and go towards this direction rather than the original idea that we had. Well, the original idea that they had being a league table. Now Champions League kind of took that and ran with it, Conference League and Europa as well. But Chris, what do you think of the new proposal here for Super League, scrapping the notion that certain clubs qualify automatically every year? Instead, there is a proposed annual qualification for all 4 leagues within the Unity League by the organizers behind it.
Is this basically scrap the Prem League still, right?
I don't know about scrapping the Prem, but this is trying to get away from the Champions League.
Okay. If it's to get away from the Champions League, I mean, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. But I kind of like this new Champions League idea, what they've done.
I was going to ask you guys that next too, actually. How do you guys, now that we're almost done with it, I mean, are we done with the league matches in the Champions League?
I think Liverpool have one more game to play, so
okay,
I might be wrong.
I think Champions League just kind of upped it a bit and changed their ballot.
I mean, that was the idea, though.
Yeah, I think they've done better with it anyway. So I kind of
wait. Did Liverpool play? Did Liverpool play this week?
They played in the Carabao Cup. They played.
Okay, I
they
think
played.
they have one more game left in that case.
Okay, so yeah, Chris, if you remember back in the day, the whole idea of the Super League was to take all the best teams over Europe and put them in a league together.
Yeah, and I didn't
So
like that.
Champions League kind of said like, we're gonna do that now because that's kind of a good idea, and now we're seeing it.
No, I like that idea, like that type of idea, long as we don't stay, like, go away from the Premier League, because I never want to leave the Premier League. The English League.
Yeah.
I love it. And,
That was a big issue. Yeah, that was a big issue.
And yeah, I'm glad, obviously, you know, when it all collapsed, I remember Chelsea was pretty much the first to, like, pull out of it, and then Man City did or something. We did it, like, mid-game, I think, because I remember Petr Cech telling the Chelsea fans to calm down, we're working on it.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
But yeah, like, I'm not a big fan of it, but like, Champions League basically like took the idea and made it their own. So we don't really need the Super League, to be honest. And the Spanish clubs are basically begging the Premier League clubs to come join them because they're broke. Look at Barcelona, for example.
Mhm.
I know Real Madrid's rich, like they got money and stuff, but like Barcelona on their knees, they're selling grass, like selling wedding venues.
Oh, you see, Barcelona, they're trying to sell Eric Garcia to register Dani Olmo.
Yeah.
Honestly,
No,
fuck
it's not
Barcelona.
looking
I don't
good.
give a shit if they go under. No,
really
like
peak
it's sad
for
for the
them. I
fans,
don't
but
care.
like, I'm not here to see like our Premier League clubs help
Fans
them
can
out.
hold that, Chris.
Yeah, like no, the sell grass like is a low. Okay, yeah, like nah, I don't want it. I'll be honest. I'm fine with Champions League as it is right now, and the Premier League. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm content.
I mean, it's
Chris,
gonna
what do
happen.
you think about?
but we're not-
Oh,
Go ahead,
what do you think
Robert.
about free football, though, Chris?
Think of what?
Free football. They said it was free.
Oh, it is free. That's another thing. I forgot to mention that, Chris.
You know
Sorry.
what? It's a lie.
I think that's huge.
That is pretty huge, actually.
Wait, what?
No,
Like
'cause
their league
these-
is being free?
They're offering this.
They said
league if-
free viewing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lie. Once you get like the first year or two, they are bam. Like here's the subscription, £30 a month.
Well, it's technically
Once
not a lie. I mean, it would be free at first, maybe, and then they
You know,
charge
it's
for
just to
it.
suck you into it. I don't trust them like that. But
But
I
if
mean,
it's
yeah,
if it's a better pricing structure than like what Sky do and what TNT Sports do, then
the only
people are
thing I
going to
don't like about
gravitate to that.
Premier League- Yeah, the only thing I don't like about Premier League is obviously for the TV watchers, and I pay for Sky Sports and all that. It's just I don't get to watch every game of Chelsea. And it's just bullshit. This weekend from the game of Chelsea, obviously we have to rely on the Discord, the English people anyway. It's because it's not in the Premier League, Sky Sports. So yeah, I don't like that. But yeah, like stuff like that would be better. But
But you
I
know
still
they do that
stand
on
it.
purpose, right? It's just because like they
They
want to
did on
make
purpose
as
back
much
in the
money
day.
as possible.
Back in the day, it's because they wanted people to go to the stadiums and watch their games and all
We've
that.
you've got historic, outdated rules like the Saturday
Yeah.
3 p.m. blackout and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
But I feel like if this Super League does go through, right, and it is free to watch, it's going to give a lot of exposure to these clubs that normally you'd have to pay for a Paramount subscription or whatever subscription just to watch, 2 subscriptions just to watch them play. And to watch them play in Champions League, you got to pay for that 1 subscription. And you know, the more eyes, the more attention you have on your club, the more exposure. So you're probably going to get more branding deals out of it. You're probably going to get more sponsorship stuff out of it. Like they can make their money in other ways outside of just broadcasting rights. So it could be a game changer or a competitive one in terms of like how this can actually manifest and become a thing. So it's something to definitely keep an eye on because it's not going away. It hasn't gone away since it's been announced. Like it's, you know, it's very much going to be something that's going to be implemented, and they're going to try to really, really make it happen. So, something to keep an eye on. But yeah, let's go ahead and discuss the next thing, which is a pretty quick one, I'm pretty sure, but a quick little segment into this right here. We have a new trademark that was purchased by Clearlake. And you guys probably already know what it is. We did touch upon it recently, and this is an update towards that story. Chelsea have now successfully trademarked Chels and the Chels, according to Kieran Gill. So it's a trademark now, and I think that's going to be... Well, actually, I don't know exactly why they're doing it. It's probably for branding rights and...
Merchandising and stuff.
Merchandising, right? Because I think... they're trying to go, and we'll talk about kits and all that stuff next. They're trying to go towards this retro type of thing. I don't know. This is the part where it's out of my wheelhouse of expertise, and I don't know what the hell exactly is the benefit of doing this. But I mean, that means other brands can't do it, I guess. So that there's that. So yeah, I don't really know. What do you guys think about this?
Wait, is it just the Chels? That's all we trademarked.
Chels and the Chels.
Is that,
And as far as I'm aware, that for me,
I thought
like,
something we trademarked something to do with London as well. That's what I swear.
well,
I saw,
this is a continuation of that, right?
okay. Yeah, I don't know what exactly, because we already own the rights of like Chelsea, you know, like trademark. Like the Chelsea is just a bit shorter. Maybe it's just like, I don't know if it's like an online thing, like maybe YouTubers can't use the word. I don't know. I don't know what to really make out of that one, to be honest, Marshall. Like that much. Yeah, it's great. It's like proper Chelsea or something. I don't know. But yeah, like.
Well, I mean, you know, make a T-shirt up the Chels. You know, that's a lot of people say up the Chels.
Yeah.
Put it on a T-shirt. Put it on a hoodie.
I think it's more so to like prevent other people from selling that on a shirt or on whatever and making profit off of it. So maybe it's updating the trademarks that Chelsea have. Maybe it's something that there was some type of loophole in there where people were making money off of that exact branding, that exact Chelsea or the Chels. And so maybe the ownership are closing that loophole. This is my 2 cents. That's my guess on it. I don't really know much else. Yeah, that's the only thing to me that really makes sense. But maybe someone in chat or maybe someone in the future will maybe clarify it a little bit more next time we discuss this. But let's go ahead and move on to... Oh, not yet. All right, never mind. I got another update for you guys, and this is more of a overhaul Clearlake update. As you guys know, there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes at Clearlake, and a lot of things have happened in the last 3 weeks to a month in terms of what's going on behind the scenes with Boli Igbali. Yeah, remember, guys, there used to be a civil war happening. Now there's not really much discussion on that. So it turns out things can happen and progress can be made even though there's a civil war happening. And turns out, think business as usual, pretty much, unless things are down bad for Chelsea. But anyways, let's go ahead and start off with the first tweet I have for you guys. We'll lump sum it all together and discuss parts that you guys are interested in. So, Chelsea have hired senior scout Charlie Hutton from Brighton. So, we're back again to hiring Brighton ex-employees and
Leave
Brighton
alone,
models and all that stuff. Listen, man, the Brighton model. It's all about the Brighton model.
Do you just want to buy Brighton? Like, they just keep
man.
going after Brighton players and staff and managers.
Listen, we're just
Just buy the
establishing
club,
a
man.
relationship. Listen, you know what's going to
Just
happen
the
next,
club.
Chris? No, you know what's going to happen next? Todd Bowley's going to buy AEW. That's what's going to happen next.
He's
So
buying, buying a failed company. At this point.
We continue on. Also, Missy Chesterfield, Rishi Sunak's former director of communications, is heading to Chelsea as director of corporate communications and affairs. Rishi Sunak. Why do I know that name?
Why do you know
He's
that
the
name?
former Prime Minister. He's the last Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
Okay, that's why.
That's how relevant we are to you.
Yeah.
So before the current
I
one,
have
yeah,
my
he's
own
him.
problems,
you,
Chris.
you
I have
heard
my own
about.
problems.
It's not like everyone knows about like US as president or something.
Yeah, well, you guys are obsessed with us. We have our own problems,
Your-
okay, Chris?
your
I can't.
TV
I don't
show.
have time
Your
to
TV
focus
show.
on everyone else's. Well, the TV show is my country right now.
Nah, Chris, Chris, you actually got to chill out. We've had like 4 Prime Ministers in the last 4
Yeah,
years.
to be
Oh, yeah,
fair, you guys
yeah.
have had a lot of change of powers very quick. And
Yeah.
very soon,
It's
so
not really change of power that much.
hard
'Cause it's still
to
the same
hard to
party,
keep track,
but-
man.
Same party,
Just-
yeah, but the leader's been different.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what it
this
is?
stuff,
It's like who was remember when Trump was first in office? There was that one guy that did all the speaking for him, Sean Spicer. What was his role? I can't remember. Dang it! You
Don't
guys know
ask
what I'm
me.
talking about, right?
No, sorry.
Oh my God! It's the one person that comes out and answers the media questions for the president all the time, and they get all the flack.
Oh.
Like, that person's role changed like 5 times under Trump. So it's like so hard to keep track. It's the same thing with the UK. So let's continue on. Emerging talent program manager Jen Mildenhall, sorry if I butchered that, is leaving Man United after a decade of to become player care lead at Chelsea. So again, working on the infrastructure on the inside of the club, the structure of the company, which is good. Another thing that we found here was Todd Boehly is threatening to gate crash the 550 million pound sale of the Telegraph with an offer to help finance a bid for the 169-year-old conservative British national newspaper, according to Financial Times. We'll definitely be talking
Matt
about
Law,
that.
sleep with one eye open.
Yeah, you're fired, mate.
He works for the Telegraph.
Yeah, he does.
Chelsea believe they are ahead of budget commercially and on track for where they wanted to be on the sporting side. This is despite not having a main front of shirt sponsor yet. They are confident they will comply with PSR, which we will definitely talk about the front of shirt sponsor. That's coming up very soon. We also have here, Chelsea are committed to waiting until March at the earliest before allowing their position in the Premier League table to help determine what the club can fight for this season. We also have here, Enzo Maresca's preseason objective was to help Chelsea improve while implementing a new style of play and to keep getting better. Those above him are understood to be delighted by the progress so far. Chelsea sources suggested that the aim with Maresca is for him to be the longest serving head coach since the turn of the century and match the longevity of the likes of Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp in the Premier League. And that's coming from The Athletic, a very reliable source there. We got 2 more here. No one at Chelsea is getting carried away by the start of Maresca's side having made the start Maresca's side have made, but they do see their current form as strong indication of their plans coming together. And then lastly, we have here, Chelsea have also now made it their policy that all first team and academy players age 18 and upwards who have under 2 years left under contracts must come to an agreement with the club on their future or face being sold. So a few things there, a lot to cover. I'm sure a few things you guys want to discuss. We have the new hirees, which I'm sure no one cares about, but hey, we're still hiring people, which is good. If you're looking for a job at Chelsea, do send your application, obviously, and update those LinkedIn profiles, people. But there is also the fact that Boehly is trying to buy the Telegraph. We have this implementation of the rules that if you have 2 years or less on your contract and you're under 18, you either have to sign an extension or leave the club, which I'm all for that. And then the second thing being the fact that it looks like people are happy with Maresca, the higher powers are happy with Maresca, things are going according to plan, and that they want him to stay for a long time and are going to determine what to do in the window based on where we are in the table, which the window is coming very soon, guys. And here on this channel, we will be cranking that news as it comes out. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I guess I'll start this off. I'll start off with this first little story. Actually, no. I'll start off with the Telegraph thing. Remind me if I'm incorrect here, but Ineos or Sir Jim Ratcliffe, he owns a publication, doesn't he?
I don't know.
Okay, I swear he does.
Have a look,
please
maybe.
Let me know. Yeah. Chat, please let me know if I'm wrong on that. But I'm pretty sure he owns a publication. And listen, with the way the media has been acting towards us a lot in recent times, especially early this season, I think it's safe to say we should have maybe a reliable counter media that's more biased and not more biased. I shouldn't say biased, but
maybe more biased.
You know.
It's about time
we still have our own biased media out there, but I feel like we need a reputable source that's going to maybe help counteract the false narratives that get put out there.
I don't know if Matt Law being there is going to counter that.
Well, I mean, if we do buy it and he is out there,
he likes to stir the pot with Chelsea. He likes to stir the pot.
He really does. He really does. But yeah, so I think this is an interesting thing to do. I think is honestly something that would benefit the club to have this tool at our disposal. But I mean, what do you guys think?
It's a little bit interesting, I would say, because I would never expect to see our owners go and buy a news report like on football, whatever. And especially Matt Law is there, and he targets Chelsea a lot, so that's kind of like a surprise. I don't know if it's like a reason for
press
like
secretary, yes,
like a business idea, like they can make money off it, or it's just like a side where they can talk all nice about Chelsea and be biased and like sack Matt Law because he's a cunt to us.
He's been nicer lately, but yeah.
I haven't really noticed him too lately. I feel like
he hasn't been as. I think people in chat would agree. He hasn't been as. What's the word I'm looking for? Divisive. There we go.
As he really had an opportunity to be, though. I mean, look at the results.
I'm trying to get the angle around this one, though.
I'm sure he could have been with the whole Mudryk thing. Oh, you're talking about the results.
Hey,
okay,
you just remind me of Mudryk. If Mudryk wants a job, he can maybe work at the Telegraph.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Like, he's got to do something to help Chelsea earn money, man. Come on.
Oh my god.
Hey, listen, we'll talk on Mudryk. It's very soon, but with the Telegraph.
Sorry, when I heard the Mudryk's name and the Telegraph being bought by Chelsea, 2 and 2 went together.
I wish Will was here because Will is kind of.
Hey, Will.
A little bit. He's a little bit more knowledgeable on the journalistic side of things, but I mean, he at one point was striving to do that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, Oliver, your thoughts on Bowley potentially buying a news outlet here in the UK?
I don't think it's not really a Chelsea thing, in my personal opinion. I mean, Todd Bowley is an investor; he owns multiple businesses.
Oh, so you think it's an investment opportunity?
That's what I think, or something along those lines. I don't think this is a Chelsea initiative, or otherwise you'd be hearing the involvement of Egbali and Clearlake and Feliciano and people like that. It's solely a Todd Bowley thing. I mean, as funny as it would be to see Matt Law get fired, I just don't. It's not about that for me. And even if it was, like, the problem is, like, what you're saying, Marshall, is that like you want like a counter to the negativity, but what you run the risk of there is you're going to get overly positivity. You're not going to get like a fair thing. You're going to get Robert Sanchez is going to be the best goalkeeper in the world in 2 years. Or, but that's what's already happening. You're just going to hear more of that, though. Like,
I'm sure you guys have it, right, in the UK, but it's kind of like how here in the US we have CNN and like MSNBC, which are like the progressive side of the outlet, and then there's like Fox and whatever else, like, which is the more Republican, more traditional side of, and it's kind of, I mean, both sides stink, but it kind of helps balance things out a bit. I feel like there's a lot of negative press on Chelsea and not enough positive press, and that's kind of me saying like maybe this is something that can balance it out a little bit, you know? That's just my.
I mean, maybe, but again, that might be the case. But again, I point back to the results on the pitch. I think that is solving enough in and of itself. We're seeing far less negative press. I mean, the Mudryk thing is the Mudryk thing. Like, that's going to get negativity regardless because it will just bring back the thing about he was 80 million with add-ons, even though they won't mention add-ons, but and stuff like that. But that's just natural, you know.
On to the other things that were in this little package bundle that I had here. What did you guys think of the other stuff that I mentioned?
Wait, what was the other stuff?
I had a feeling this would happen.
You're like, when you say so much stuff, and we talked about this for like a good 5-10 minutes. I'm going.
So the 2-year contract, basically sign or go policy.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense for sure because like Chelsea don't want to lose money. They have a very cool, strict way about it. If you don't sign the contract and you don't be sold, and you just go rot on the bench or not bench reserves, doing nothing. We saw that with a lot of players, and recently Acheampong, he was doing nothing until we signed the contract. I mean, it's fair enough. It's their choice. Like, they own the club, they own like the contracts and all that. They can do what they want. I mean, it seems to work. It got Acheampong to sign a 5-year contract.
We'll talk on that, right? But
I think that's why. I think that's why it's news, because this is actually the first time where it's gotten someone to sign the contract. Whereas with other, we've had Mounts and Havertz and Kovacic and Gallagher. We all got rid of those players, but this is the first time we've done it, and it's actually resulted in a player staying at the club. I think that's why it's news, nothing more. Because we've been doing this since the ownership came in. The only player that actually got into their last year of contract is Thiago Silva, and he's 39, 40 years old. So, you know, were we gonna sell him? No.
But this is mostly obviously aimed towards academy products. It actually says here that all first team and academy players.
It's anyone.
Academy players aspect. Yeah, that's anyone actually, now that I think about it. But Oliver, do you feel like this is a little too forced?
Oh, what do you mean by forced?
Like, you know, kind of forcing the player to have an ultimatum of, you know, you're not allowed to run down your contract. And make yourself more easily available for another club. Which, listen, I think to an extent too, like, players should have the right, if they want to go to a Real Madrid or something, or Barcelona or whatever, you name the club, and they know that the best way they can do that is by going on a free. Do you think taking away that by saying, here, either we stagnate your career by you not playing, and this is me playing devil's advocate, by the way, I'm all for this. Either we stagnate your career by not playing you until you sign the contract, or you leave. And if you leaving means you need to now find a club that's willing to pay your contract versus another one that's willing to have you on a free. You know, do you feel like that's too forced?
But what you're assuming there is that you said the player wants to go to Real Madrid, so that's assuming that beyond doubt they are leaving the football club. So at that point, you have to either get a fee or not get a fee.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you know, stagnating their career, you know, at the end of the day, they're leaving anyway. So what would it hurt you to stagnate their career? So get a fee.
Yeah, I think but what I mean in terms of, like, you know, we know there's clubs out there that the way they like to do business is to pay the least amount as possible. And, you know, players have their favorites. You know, players want to move to Liverpool. Players want to go play for United. And obviously, we've had issues before where the transfer fee gets in the way. And I believe Mount is a good example of this, I believe, where Mount kind of butted heads with the ownership because they were charging way too much of a fee for him to move to United. And
I mean, we got the fee.
We did get the fee eventually, right? But, you know,
I mean, granted, at first they were reporting in the region of 75, 80 million, and that was at first. So I can understand that, to be honest. That was ridiculous.
So that's kind of where I'm getting at, right? Like, if a player wants to go to PSG, for example, or a player wants to go to Real Madrid, and those are clubs that, you know, are infamous for only getting players on free transfers, at least in recent time. Then if you're the club saying, like, no, you're not allowed to go run down your contract and go on a free, then you're stagnating their move to the club that they want to go to. I
mean, it's fair enough because, like you said, like Real Madrid, like, play on free players. Like, they technically got Mbappe free from PSG. Like you said, like, if you want to, like, wait out your contract, you're probably gonna suffer for it. That's how it's gonna be. Like, you're not gonna play football.
By the way, with the Mbappe thing,
and we shouldn't help. We shouldn't really help our rivals or Champions League rivals or whatever.
I get that, and again, like I said, I'm only playing devil's advocate, people. I'm only like I agree with this policy. I really do think players need to figure out whether or not they want to go to another club or stay at Chelsea, and I think another thing to add with the Mbappe thing, if you guys remember with Luis Enrique, Mbappe's last season, he wasn't supposed to play at all.
Exactly. This is the thing. Like, I don't understand why people are saying that this is like some crazy new thing that Chelsea have invented or Clearlake. Clubs do this. They were trying to do it with Mbappe, but then Enrique bottled it at the end and started playing him every game. Do you want to know the reason why Lenny Yoro is at Manchester United right now?
Go for it.
Because he was in the last year of his contract and Leon said, sign or leave.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Lenny Yoro, if Lenny Yoro didn't go... If Lenny Yoro didn't go to Manchester United, he would currently be like with, 7 months left on his contract right now.
Yeah, United,
I can
getting paid is crazy. They were paid so much for 1 year left on the contract. It was 80 mil for a 1 year left on the contract deal. Is insane.
And that's the United thing. They did that with Mount. That's just their thing, I guess.
Yeah,
They really should have waited though for Mason Mount, because Mason Mount, you can see from Chelsea's last 18 months, he wasn't good. He was getting a little bit of injuries and he wasn't playing good.
Well, Chelsea.
Well, they shouldn't have waited. They shouldn't have done it.
But with with the centre back they bought, I kind of understand that one, because Real Madrid would have got him a visa free. By the way, they would have got him. So they said, "All right, we gotta do this now. We'll go pay off."
That plays a factor, definitely.
Yeah, I get.
Year
but
left?
right. If he becomes like a really good centre back, I know he had that injury, but if he becomes a really good, if he becomes a really good centre back and like stays in their team, like as a starter, and does good over there for like 8 years or so. I don't know how old is he. How old is he? 20, 21?
He's a I think he's a teenager.
Oh,
yeah.
So, yeah, they could have potentially with him for like 8 to 10 years for sure.
I mean, this would have been United's thinking. They're seeing Real Madrid going for him. That's like a parallel to Rafael Varane, and look at how good he was in his career. So that's the angle they would have been looking at it from. Like, let's get this guy.
I hear that that signing, the Mason Mount, no one really wanted them. Liverpool looked at him and said, 16 million, too much. We'll give you 40.
With what, 2 years or 1 year left on his
1 year
contract
left,
as well?
yeah. I mean, we refused the 40 million offer to Liverpool, but when Man United said 60, we was like, yeah, we're taking this.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we did.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll hear more about, reactions to that. And I'm sure now that this has been made more public and now it's like official, which like to what Oliver said earlier, like this was kind of already happening in the club. It was already implemented, but now this is more of like, okay, we're coming out and saying it. Like this is the policy here at Chelsea. I'm sure there will be, academy products and players are going to react to this in some way, and we'll see some transfer outs and stuff. But that being said, let's move on because we do have a lot of topics to discuss, and we haven't even touched on the main ones.
Really?
Let's keep going. Oh yeah, we do.
Oh, I thought we were going pretty quick.
Let's shift it into fourth gear, baby. Let's go quicker. So let's start go into the next thing, which is hey Chris.
Don't say it. Don't say Chris like that. Oh fuck.
Shirt leaks.
this is why we take longer. Because we're talking about Reece kits only halfway through the season.
Hey,
that looks cold. I like it.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I like
All
it,
right.
but we won't do it.
Okay, we'll get to that. But we had some shirt leaks, apparently. The old Chelsea crest and Nike crest in black. And apparently, Chelsea 25-26 third kit. See below a prediction of the Chelsea 25-26 third kit football shirt.
Show me this. I want it.
Because I know you want it. That's why. Pause. But anyways, listen, you guys have been bragging and begging for a black kit. Well, we already have one this season. Yeah, we got one this season with the hot pink and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, it's quite good.
This is another one. So, right now it's very blasé. I would like to see a little bit more. Maybe the crest itself could be a little smaller. I feel like it's obnoxiously big. We'll see where we go. It could even be the new crest, to be honest, which is just the line,
I like
circle.
That. The old crest. Oh
yeah, look at
I think
you.
the point of it is that it's retro.
Yeah,
retro.
That would sell a lot.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I do want to see a little bit more to it, obviously. Maybe. Well, maybe
colors?
instead of blue here, maybe some white. I wouldn't mind some white here, and then
I mean, white, a silverish white, gray.
Maybe if you want to make it black, like some gray, and you can make it like a smoke texture. Maybe who knows?
Okay,
Not the smoke that we have now. Okay,
all right.
I'm trying to. Hey, before you get your your knickers in a bunch, brother.
I do like it simple, but then again,
you
can experiment with your third kits and stuff. So
yeah.
I'm fine with it.
And then another part of this too is so this is like a very beginning concept of what's being said here.
Yeah.
The 25-26 training shirt featuring the return of the iconic Total 90 design. It will be worn in the 25-26 Premier League, which this gets me excited. So, as some of you may know, I am a little older, and when I was playing football, I was a big Nike guy, and I wore Nike boots. And Total 90 was like my go-to. I loved wearing Total 90 boots. Also, there was that was when Vapors were first released. I remember the Maestries, or were there Maestries or the Controls? They were coming out as well. So there was some really cool boots coming out at the time. So I was a big fan of Total 90. If you guys remember, Joga Bonito as well was a whole Total 90 promo for Nike and stuff. It was really, really neat. Do you guys know? I mean, Chris, do you know Total 90? The Oliver, do you guys know Total 90? Is this? Am I dating myself?
I mean, I know nothing about shoes in general, so like the date doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Chris?
No, I know of them, but
Okay. Because like
I'm
kind of sad to see it disappear.
my Nike shoes.
My
I was
Nike
laughing.
shoes, my Nike boots, whatever. Shut up. I still have my a pair of Total 90 boots that
Really?
you know they're retired. Maybe one day when we reach a certain milestone, I'll whip them out and I'll show the chat. But what do you think about this design, guys? For the
It's
training
the Nike
kits?
boots, like the big circle on the boot, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
I
The big
remember
old
like
rubber, like hit it here and just fucking
You still got
power
them?
shot. Yeah, dude.
I remember like the older lads like would wear them like in football and just go down the park, but
Yeah, those
something
are
like
old
that,
school,
yeah.
man. They're
They
cool,
are.
and then that was that second generation, and then the third generation had the squares on the side, the 3 squares, boom, boom, boom.
I got something of Ronaldinho
That,
Total
like
90.
Ronaldo wore them and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Like I remember those. Like those boots are sick. But yeah, dude, it was a really great promo, and they've since dropped it. I haven't seen them, but it's kind of nice to see it make a comeback. But I mean, we'll see with the training kits. This might be my first training kit I buy if that's the case. But what do you guys think of these new kits and the new training kit, the Total 90 return, and all that fun stuff?
Like I said, I like the black one a lot. I would definitely buy that. The black kit did be on my first list of Chelsea to buy. I mean, I haven't bought a training kit since 2012, 13. We know like those square blue squares, Oliver, with under Di Matteo. What they
It
call
rings a bell, yeah.
Yeah, like if I can get it and show it you, like maybe on what's it called here, I'll show it you. But like yeah, like I ain't bought one for a while, but maybe I'd buy this one. I have to see it more. Like if it's just like this, then I don't know about it. But
Yeah, this is very bare bones. If you
yeah,
ask me.
I feel like there
sure-
could be more work done to it. Hopefully, it's not written by sponsor, obviously, but like
Let me see this.
Oh, that's just a sample.
let me type
Oh.
in what's it called?
Now you guys got me thinking. Hold on.
So you're saying the 12-13 training kit, right?
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna say 12, 13. I'm gonna look.
Oh,
it
these
up.
are the boots I was talking about, Chris. You remember these?
Oh yeah, okay, I remember those. I also remember the one with like the circle like on the side as well, but
These are the boots I had.
yeah, that's the circle. Okay, it's on the front
Yeah,
as well.
these are freaking
oh.
dope. Yeah,
That-
they don't.
not-
Like boots don't like boots nowadays. They don't really scream out to me anymore. But these boots, like they were just so uniquely designed that I was like, oh, these are freaking really cool. Obviously now, like the boot technology has advanced so much now that you know they don't need all this shit. But I remember even Adidas came out with like what are the Predators, I think, that had like the sand in the boot that would like shift your weight just slightly enough for you know lifting the ball up in the air, stuff like that. I don't know, man.
You should type in I was gonna say like Chelsea's training kit 2011 to 2012. That's the kit.
Okay. give
I
me a
really
second.
like that one. That's the last one I actually bought. I was a kid though, but I ain't really bought
What year?
11 to 12, like slash 11, 12. Yeah.
Oh, I
Like-
see. This one.
It's the the jacket as well. It's yeah, that one and the jacket. That was the training kit. It was the training kit. Yeah, it's definitely training kit. I had that
These are pretty cool.
jacket too. I like the squares. I really like the squares. I don't know why. I just really did.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the one I had when I was like,
Yeah.
how old was I?
These
12,
these are-
13.
these designs are cool. I do like some of the older stuff, so I'm kind of happy to see that and make a comeback. But But yeah, I think overall, you guys are pretty optimistic about the design. So I think I'm optimistic about it too. I think it's a good direction. I know Nike has been disappointing a lot of fans lately. Well, not lately. As of the last 2 seasons, I think we've gone. Yeah, the last 2 seasons, I feel the kits and all that stuff have been better. But
a home kit though, I'm still
yeah,
some people like it.
We haven't nailed yet. I mean, last season's home kit was nice. People
I
like
think
that.
you know the black kit we made this year. Like I feel like
Yeah.
everyone likes that one, like the pink and black. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think everyone's.
And I feel like people don't really have much to complain in terms of like the away kit either. I think they're like, yeah, this is okay away kit, you know.
Even we did a retro kit again before as well, that golden with Di Matteo and all that, and Zola. Like that was a good one as well. I wasn't a big fan of the
No,
shine
that was
on
just
the
a
back,
home.
but
Chris, that was just a home shirt. That wasn't a retro kit.
no, I thought no, not retro, but like they did some sort of plastic.
Are you talking about the
There's some sort of like
Viali? Are you talking about the Viali charity game?
I don't know about charity game. It's just like we're sponsoring it, not sponsoring, but advertising like it to as like a classic look or something.
No, because you mentioned Zola and gold. I was thinking about the charity game.
It was our home kit, but like Zola, Di Matteo was there, Mudryk was there. Like those young players there, like Lauren James, Reece James was there.
Okay.
There's like some sort of classic to future like look or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what you're referring to, Chris. Sorry.
It's that one with the golden shiny badge.
When you find it,
It's
send
like
it over.
a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah. But I feel like we're going in the right direction with Nike. They're finally figuring out what kits sell and how well how to design them so that the fans can be happy. And I'm hoping this next season we hit it out of the park with all of them, to be honest, not just the third kit or their away kit. So I think this is a good direction to go in. It's receiving pretty good reception. So let's go on to the next topic, which is related to the shirts as well. And guys, I don't know if you've noticed, we still don't have a Front of Shirt sponsor, but we do now, or at least it seems like we do now. So let's read up on this. Let's see what's going on, and let me catch you guys up. So a month ago, or almost a month ago, we had this tweet come out, right? Jordan prefers Chelsea over Spurs. They will wait to see if the club make UCL football for the next season. In Paris, they will probably not reach the results even from last season and are looking for a new growth path. And that's coming from Lou Class, which is a pretty reliable source when it comes to these things. Then we continue on here. Latest, Chelsea are close to announcing a front of shirt sponsor with 4 or 5 names in the hunt, according to sources. Around 3 airline companies and 2 tech companies are battling it out, according to Mike Keegan. We continue on. So same news down here below, and then we continue on with officials believe that they would attract bigger sums than were being offered at the time, and it would appear as though their actions are about to be rewarded with performance on the field doing them a little harm whatsoever. So maybe waiting was a better financial option than going and settling for the other companies that were willing to be a front of shirt sponsor early in the season. So we continue on. Chelsea have held some talks with Mercedes-Benz. That's probably one of the tech companies that was mentioned earlier. We continue on. There's more than one sponsor now ready to pay Chelsea's price for a front of shirt sponsor. Watch this space ahead of the Christmas period. There is no front runner, but Chelsea have been in talks with Riyadh Air for some time now, and we already know that. We've covered that. So here's a big summary of just about everything here. Chelsea are in talks with several potential companies that could join the club in the next few weeks. The clubs are expecting a fee of 20 to 25 million for the rest of the season. So not too shabby. Maybe something that we can continue on next season or renew next season. Previously mentioned as well, known airlines such as Qatar Airways, Riyadh Airways, and Turkish Airways are participating in the talks. The remaining interested companies come from the U.S., so Mercedes probably one of them. Riyadh Air was also considering a joint proposal to sponsor the club with another Saudi entity linked to the PIF. Chelsea are set to sign a package worth of 60 million a year in front of shirt sponsorship deal, men's and women's team, from next season if they qualify for the UCL. Good performance on the pitch out of the club put the club in a much better negotiating position than the beginning of the season, which Maybe that's why we waited so long. Continuing on, Chelsea and the sleeve sponsor Fever have ended their partnership prematurely due to the company's financial problems. So Fever having some financial issues. It has not been established whether Fever has paid the full annual sponsorship fee of £6 to £8 million, or euros, I should say. The Fever logo has disappeared from the official sponsorship roster on the website and from the LED perimeter boards at the Stamford Bridge. Despite this, the Fever branding still appears on the sleeve and both men's and women's match shirts. Continuing on, Riyadh Air was also considering a joint proposal with another Saudi entity. A few months ago, Inter concluded a similar agreement with Qatar Airways as the training kit sponsor. The expanded partnership includes brands such as Visit Qatar and Hamad International Airport. The potential announcement of a new front of shirt sponsor for Chelsea would see them move into third place for the Premier League's most valuable deals, excluding kit manufacturers. Man City's new sponsorship deal, worth well over £100 million plus a year, has been put on hold by the Premier League and has ended up in court. The contract is currently estimated to be worth £90 million per year, and these are the big sponsorship deals. I remember we discussed this.
Man City, 100 million plus.
Yeah. I remember we discussed this briefly in a previous stream. But yeah, these are the top sponsorship deals, ladies and gents. Then here we have it. According to Footy Headlines, Chelsea to sign a new sponsorship deal with Riyadh Air / Qatar Airways worth £60 million a season. And if you guys remember, at the beginning of the season, it was £40 million for that front of shirt sponsorship. Now we're looking at £60 million. And yeah, ladies and gents, here we have, okay. By the way, if you're watching the fight, ladies and gents, Usyk gets the double on Tyson Fury. It left a decision, so Usyk got the decision. And to be fair, from what I saw, Usyk had a lot more movement. I think more effective punches.
I think he's just a bad boxer.
Yeah, I think I was going to give it to Usyk anyways. But yeah, Usyk beats Fury, undisputed champ, and best boxer in the world, you would say.
Tough son of a bitch, but like I think Usyk's just more talented and technical.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, actually, even then, Fury has a lot of talent as well. But
I'm not. Yeah, sorry, I'm just saying like compared to each, I think he just has more technical ability.
Yeah. And a lot more movement as well.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the topic. Sorry, guys. But yeah, it's finally done, apparently. So let's see. We'll see the official announcement soon. But Chelsea, front of shirt sponsor, a collaboration between Riyadh Air and Qatar Airways for £60 million, $20 million more than what we officially asked for in the beginning of the season, which people said was very diluted of Chelsea. Now, what are they saying? But Chris, Oliver, we had a few names that were in that basket. Are you happy with these names?
I have
and the amount of money we got?
I mean, the money's good, and that's the main thing. Really, is just get the money in and help Chelsea out, of course. But like, is this like a long contract or is it just like a short one till the end of the season?
Well, from what I've read,
it's going to be a long contract.
It's 25
Definitely
for the remainder of the
Dream is
season.
dead. You're saying the Jordan Dream is dead if we get him.
Well, probably not, because I think the Jordan deal is going to be a shirt deal, not a front of shirt sponsor.
Oh, not the front.
This will definitely be a long. This will definitely be a long deal. Like the whole point of waiting, as has been pointed out, is so that we can get a better deal. And we'd only be if we were to get a front of sponsor at the beginning of this season, just like last season, we only got a 1 year with Infinite Athlete. That's because the value wasn't high enough to commit when we were aiming to be back in the UCL very soon, and it's looking like we're going to be there next season.
Oh yeah, we're 100%. I think.
So you know, don't lock yourself into a lower value deal. If you get a high value deal, then put a lot of years on it. Yeah,
and I could see, like, obviously, Chris, to answer your question as well, it's 25 for the remainder of the season, and then a £60 million a season deal afterwards. So that's probably going to be like a long-term deal that we get with them.
Yeah, like
and sign.
That's going to be in the front and the middle, official.
Right? Yeah, in the middle or front of shirt.
Yeah, like the fun. That's what I mean. I wanted Jordan there, man. But like, then again, it's just about money, and that's all I care about. So, what helps Chelsea out helps us out. You know.
I think Jordan is a kit deal, though. Am I mistaken in that, Oliver?
No, but like, well, I mean, PSG had it like all in them kits, the middle, and I thought it looked really good. The designs look good. That's why.
Okay, hold on. I think you're. 1 second.
No, like look.
What?
No, what? Like, look at the PSG kits for Jordan. Like, they have it in the middle. For all of them they did, and they look good. We've done this before, Marshall.
No, Qatar Airways is their thing.
No, but no, not now it is.
Okay,
yeah,
this is why I'm explaining it, Chris.
Hold
on.
I think they have brand ranges with Jordan, I think.
I see.
I'm talking about like a few years ago when PSG had it. Like,
yeah,
a couple years ago, let's say that.
So what I think, if I'm understanding this correctly, the Jordan deal is a new kit deal, right?
Well, I don't understand that.
The kit. Nike is our kit deal.
Yeah.
Jordan is another one.
Yeah.
Right? So it would be, I guess, because Jordan is part of Nike, it would be an upgrade, I guess, from Nike to a Jordan kit. And this is a front of shirt sponsorship.
I know.
Two different things.
I know. Okay, yes, I know Jordan is.
So
also
the
a
Jordan
kit.
deal isn't off the table just because we did this.
I just like Jordan when I saw him in the middle as well.
Okay, I don't think
they
Jordan
did do
was
that.
ever
They
going
did
to
do
be
that
a
with
front of
PSG.
shirt. No, I get that. I get that. I get that. That I agree with, but I don't think the Jordan deal was ever going to be a front of shirt sponsor.
Oh, was it?
It was always one of these. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to explain it. It was always one of these. So, Infinite Atlee, Riyadh Air, one of these Turkish Airways.
Which one would you rather? I think I'd rather Qatar.
I think these are both going to be.
Wait, both?
I don't know how they're going to do
no,
it.
the middle.
The
middle. You can't have both in the middle, surely. It's going to look ridiculous.
It might
Part
be.
two, no.
I don't know how it's going to work.
That's going to put me off the key if it's both in the middle, I think. Unless somehow they
I mean, what? Good. Yeah, I don't know how they do it, but it can't be both.
You know what it is? If it's a long-term deal, what it might be is a split. Like, you'll get this year, or it will alternate between the both.
Maybe
something like that.
Maybe.
That's what makes sense to me.
Maybe right head like Airways or whatever. As I know the second kit. I have no idea.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, it's just
I
seeing
don't know
them
if
two together. It's thrown a curveball. Like I don't know what to think which one we're getting, or we're getting both together.
Well, listen, guys, we're innovators here, man. This is what we do.
What was there with Snake on all these pictures lately?
Oh, that Twitter. I don't know. It's ads and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
But listen, I'm just happy to see that we finally got a front of shirt deal done, and that like we can finally put this behind us. No one can criticize us for it anymore. It turned out to be a much better move than settling for someone that was going to give us less money. It wasn't going to be a better deal in the long term. And I forget who it was. We just hired the guy from Tottenham to deal with this. Big up to him. Big up to him if he was the reason that we got this across the line. Because I remember we had Chris Jurassic working on this before, or not even, maybe it wasn't Chris Jurassic, but I think it was Chris Jurassic that were working on it before, and we were stagnant. We just were not making any progress on this whatsoever. Now we hire a new person. Now we get the actual actions and the actual results, and we finally have a even better deal than what we originally thought we were going to get, which is fantastic to see. Obviously, it's not made official yet, but I think it will be official very, very soon. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that is the result that happens from here. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this segment. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to smash that like. Be sure to also check out the memberships if you haven't done so already. And we do have a goal going on right now. If we get 5 super chats in the stream, I will be doing a Christmas stream for us here on the channel, which most people are probably going to be away and with family, but I will make time for you guys in Casually FC to make some content. We'll do a live stream and we'll talk Chelsea on Christmas. So big up to you guys if you help donate that towards that goal, and give me a little bit of an incentivized reason to do it. But let's go ahead and check out the remainder of the news, and I think this is one of the ones that you guys are waiting for, and I think all of us have been waiting for. So let's get this out of the way and let's discuss it. So Mudryk's doping ban. This is a big one. Obviously not good news to hear. But let's start off with how it kind of began and work our way to where it is right now. So Mykhailo Mudryk is not available for loan or sale in January. No chance he leaves mid-season. Chelsea continued to back him. This was the beginning of the month before all this came out. You had Enzo Maresca saying he was sick and ill. He would have been dropped out of the team for some time now. And things were looking a little, odd. But we continue on. This is the original tweet that broke out in regards to the Mudryk news. Breaking: Mykhailo Mudryk failed a doping test. The test was taken at the end of October. The backup sample is expected to be opened in the coming days. The Chelsea and Ukraine player currently facing a ban. And this is the original source that broke the story. Continuing on, Matt Law saying here, Mykhailo Mudryk's representatives have not commented on a report in his native Ukraine Ukraine that alleged an A sample taken in October was found to be positive for doping. Mykhailo Mudryk drugs case information. This is a little summary of what's happened at this point in the story on the 17th. Chelsea has launched an investigation, probe around contaminated substance. Mudryk was clear in August and said his behavior has been the same since. Any potential contamination may have happened outside the country because the substance involved is not available in the UK, waiting for B sample to come back. Breaking: Mykhailo Mudryk has been provisionally suspended from football after being notified of a positive drug test by the FA. So as of right now, until this is done, he is not allowed to play football, and I think he's also not allowed to train with the first team. So an official statement here from Chelsea saying Chelsea Football Club can confirm that the Football Association recently contacted our player Mykhailo Mudryk concerning an adverse finding in a routine urine test. Both the club and Mykhailo Mudryk fully support the FA's testing program, and all our players, including Mykhailo Mudryk, are regularly tested. Mykhailo has confirmed categorically that he has never knowingly used any banned substance. Both Mykhailo and the club will now work with the relevant authorities to establish what has caused the adverse finding. The club will not be commenting any further. Mudryk also released this statement. I can confirm that I have been notified that a sample I provided to the FA contained a banned substance. This has come as a complete shock, as I have never knowingly used any banned substance or broken any rules, and am working closely with my team to investigate how this could have happened. I know that I have not done anything wrong and remain hopeful that I will be back on the pitch soon. I cannot say any more now due to the confidentiality of the process, but I will as soon as I can. So we continue on here. More details on this story. The Athletic has been told by multiple sources who wish to remain anonymous, as they are not authorized to speak publicly on the matter, that Mykhailo Mudryk tested positive for meldonium following the international duty with Ukraine in November. Multiple sources told The Athletic on Monday that Mykhailo Mudryk intends to defend his position, with the player's stance explained by people familiar with the case to be that he did not intentionally take the substance and that there is a suspicion of sabotage, although The Athletic has not been able to independently verify that claim. Chelsea are offering Mykhailo Mudryk support and have provided him with a program to remain fit while he is not allowed to play and train at Cobham. Matt Law here confirming. Chelsea in public and in private, the message is very clear. Supporting Mykhailo Mudryk, which we've seen Maresca do in the press conference after this news came out. Supporting the player. All people who know Mykhailo's character know he's very shy, a serious guy, a hard worker, and that's very public. Mykhailo Mudryk has hired some very important lawyers. The player has already guaranteed in public that he's not involved in the story and that never took anything on purpose. He will be working to make people understand what really happened. And I believe those lawyers are the same lawyers that were behind the Paul Pogba case that happened earlier this summer. Those who have seen Enzo Maresca work point to his decisiveness. On Wednesday, there was an assuredness in the way he dealt with the questions regarding Mudryk on what is not a simple topic. He did not decline to respond nor defer to the club's statement. He reiterated his support and trust for the player at the time, and that due process is still underway. And I think the way Maresca handled that press conference, if you guys saw it, was absolutely admirable, and I think super professional, top, as he would say, of him. And I got to give him kudos. It was really well handled by him. So Ben Jacobs saying what's next right now, where we stand with the process is that under FA rules, Mudryk could still be banned even if the B sample is negative. Fine or an education course, other possible sanctions, and a 4-year ban from 4-year ban the norm if B sample is positive. So if that B sample does come back positive, we will see potential 4-year ban, which could come down to a 15 or 18 month ban. If it's anything like the Pogba case, but regardless of if the B sample comes back negative or positive, regardless of if it comes back negative at all, he will still be facing a ban, very likely here. So sports lawyer Catherine Forshaw says Chelsea could consider terminating Mudryk's contract and sue the Ukraine FA. If there are sanctions, the 8-year contract signed by Mudryk could become an issue, and Chelsea could consider terminating the contract and even try to sue the UAF. It depends on who made the mistake, but what happened is outside of Chelsea's jurisdiction. Sometimes in these cases, there can be members of the players' staff involved. It is possible that someone has supplied the substance, and then there could be a consequence, and Chelsea could decide to prosecute those people. And this is coming from Give Me Sport. So could potentially be a legal battle where this could result in Mudryk's contract being terminated and the Ukraine FA being sued. And here's a different view on this from another account here. So, one, Mudryk tested positive for meldonium, but here's a twist. This is a substance that is common as aspirin in Eastern Europe, especially in Russia and Ukraine. Looking at the historical cases, dozens of Eastern European athletes have been caught with meldonium since 2016. Many were later found not guilty. The substance is literally sold over the counter in these countries. Too early to call, but this case would be more about cross-contamination that might happen if these products he eats or uses were made in factories that also produce products containing meldonium. So my take on this before we, give it off to the panel, and sorry guys, there's a lot going on here. I think this is a case of cross-contamination. I mentioned this earlier in the Chelsea Hour show that we had earlier in the in the week. I think, and if you guys know about the supplement industry and have heard people speak on this and know about, obviously, if you're watching the UFC and stuff, you know about John Jones and how he tested positive. Depending on the sensitivity. Yes, but the one drug that he tested positive for by USADA that banned him was the one that obviously, is banned substance. I think the Coke and all that stuff, that's a whole different story. That reminds me.
You're there, you're just smelling like. It's lovely.
Take it all in.
Take it all in.
Anyways. When it comes to that case, right, it depends on the sensitivity of the test, and even that sensitivity of the test picked up on the smallest strain that he had in his system for a long time. So with this, it's one of those things that with supplement industries, sometimes there are big batches made, and these batches do contain previous substances from another batch, and that could cause cross-contamination. That's why, even things like creatine, a very, very common substance that people take when they, go to the gym and all that stuff, or just natural supplement, even something like that could be contaminated with things like Coke and, who knows, right? So I do think this is a case of cross-contamination. It doesn't make sense to me why he would do this, because I don't think his issue on the pitch was ever a physical issue. I don't think his issue on the pitch was ever an injury-prone issue. I think his issue on the pitch was always a mental and football decision issue. So Melodonium, based on what I've heard of it, which I'll pull up another tweet in a second, I gotta find it, that explains what it's used for. It's used for endurance. So from a physical aspect, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Recovery as well, or?
Apparently so. But I mean, Chris, what are your thoughts on this whole thing, man? While I look for this tweet,
I think I feel bad for Mudryk because I don't think
I
he
do
did
too,
this.
by the way.
I don't think he did it deliberate, or he knew what he's like taking is illegal in the UK or something. And like you said, it's more of a Ukraine, Russia, like all these countries, they hand it over and like over the till and all that type of stuff. So I think he just thought maybe he's just taking something normal, and he didn't he? I'm not too sure if it's true, but didn't he take a lie detector as well in London? And he like swore he didn't know it was illegal or something in the UK or something. And
I mean,
I
lie
know
detector is not very reliable, but
I think they are somewhat reliable.
Somewhat, but
They
it's
like
not
they
like
read
the
your
end all
like
be all.
if you're lying, it goes up or something. Like that's what I mean. Like I'm not saying
It's-
they're always
it's-
like 100%, of course, but
It's really based on anxiety levels and nervousness levels and all that stuff.
It
that's what I mean.
really matter. It doesn't really matter if he meant it, though. I mean, the only way
They're not gonna care.
I get that.
the only way that it could matter if it was sabotage or what have you. Yeah, if it was a thing where I took this pill and I didn't know that it was banned, they're not gonna care.
I agree. They don't care, and he will probably get a ban from this. Like I reckon as soon as it's out of the system, I don't know. Then he's got to be unbanned, and it's really unfortunate because what is he 24?
Yeah, he's
20.
24.
And if you say if he's banned, I don't know, like let's say 4 years, I don't think he's gonna get a 4-year ban. He'd be 28. If it's 2 years, he's gonna be 26, like more of his prime age, and he's not gonna be playing football. I don't think Chelsea will get rid of him. They have got rid of
Really?
what's his name? I mean, they got rid of a player. What's his name?
Mutu?
Adrian
Mutu.
Yeah, Adrian Mutu. Yeah, Mutu, because he took cocaine.
Cocaine.
Yeah,
Well,
like
wasn't
so,
that more of Jose was kind of forcing that?
Joe. No, okay, I don't think Jose force fed him cocaine.
No, not that, not that. Jesus.
Bro, it's Sam. Yeah. Wait.
That's
Jose
not
did
salt.
that over his food.
Mutu,
Yeah.
it's not salt.
Oh my god.
Don't know.
Yeah. But he could. He
That's not what I
was
meant.
banned for like. I think he's banned for like less than a year. But like Chelsea kicked him out like straight away. I'm pretty sure, like because of that. So
Yeah, and he owed us
I don't-
money.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, you're right. I don't think Mudryk's gonna get kicked out. How long has he got left in his contract still? Like what, 6-7 years?
7 or 6 years, I think, because it was an 8-year deal,
Hey.
I believe.
Depending on how big the ban is,
years
Mudryk
ago.
you might have to
So
sign
that's
every,
2031.
Maybe 6.5 years, because he signed in January.
It's quite annoying.
Yeah.
Because I felt
Yeah.
like he was somewhat improving this season. And
somewhat.
either we could just sell him on from that, right? 40 million or something, maybe. Or we keep him and he improves the Chelsea and helps Chelsea's squad depth, let's say that. And he just gets better in the Chelsea. But now after this drug thing, it's going to fuck him over a little bit. And I do feel bad for him because I genuinely think he didn't do this on purpose.
So here's the other tweet that I found that I was telling you, Chris, I was looking for. Meldonium is very common in Eastern Europe medically for heart problems. It was banned for athletes in 2016. It isn't licensed or available in the UK. It would have been taken in international duty as that's where it's available. And the drug increases endurance. So, I mean... See, like, that's the part that also, like,
doesn't feel like it's
confuses
his
it.
problem, ever. Before and after.
Yeah, I mean, like endurance, like I get where you're coming from, right? Like, but at the same time, like Mudryk's problem was never the performances physically; it was more the performances mentally, like your decision making and what you're
technical
doing and
ability,
stuff.
really.
Like, like Mudryk played 60 minutes. He's able to, and he had the pace. This guy came in as one of the fastest.
I mean, he's playing against Farmers too.
Yeah, like
He's not going to want to use it against that.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
offense.
exactly.
Like, you don't
No,
need to.
Exactly. Like, it just, now that I think about it, like with the cross contamination thing, either two things. Either he takes his supplement that he normally takes, and this one time it was cross contaminated, which is very, very unlikely. It could be a sabotage thing too. It could be. But I also don't understand like tinfoil hat time. Like Oliver, if it was, what do you think is the case? Actually, to be honest,
Can't say there's not. I hate to be boring. There's not enough information at the moment at all. We've only just heard a provisional suspension. A lot more needs to be looked. I mean, the B sample needs to be opened first of all and tested for the substance or any other banned substances. Have you? Beyond that, it's really hard to say. You know, he's obviously got to be treated innocent until proven guilty, and that's what I'm going to do. But
yeah,
it's all just hypotheticals at the moment, so there's nothing for definite.
yeah. I mean, in this position, what do you guys do? Like, if you were in Chelsea's position, what do you do? I'll start with you, Chris.
Depends on the outcome.
Oh yeah, it's a part of that.
I mean,
because
regardless, he's going to serve a ban. It looks like he's
you
going to serve a ban
can't
regardless.
you can't sell him with the ban. What unless you just terminate his contract, right? And I just don't know if that's just the right move.
Actually, hold on. Let me rephrase the question, just so it makes more sense.
Yeah.
If the B sample comes back positive, what do you do? Because you have options. It looks like you can terminate the contract,
You probably could.
or you wait it out.
Honestly,
yeah. What do you do?
I think because already Chelsea's already invested the money into him and already got paid like the 62 million. He's not on the highest contract, 90k a week or something, maybe 100k tops. I think Chelsea. I don't think it, in my opinion, I don't think it's more than 2 years at all. I think 2 years is the max he gets with this punishment. He didn't do it on purpose, as I've seen, or none of that. I think, yeah, he's going to get banned. I think, in my personal thing, I think you should just keep him, honestly, at that point. If they want to start or terminate his contract and, just goodbye, Mudryk, you're on your own or something, fine. It is what it is, at that point. I just don't think it's really fair, what's happened. I don't think it's on him, to be honest. And that's what my gut feelings tell me with it, because it doesn't make any sense, to be honest, why he would have done it on purpose. But, yeah, I would keep him. I think if it's a 2-year max, may as well.
Okay, so Chris, you would keep him. Oliver, where do you stand on this?
Oh, I mean, wasn't it said that if the B sample was positive, it's likely a 4-year ban?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
If it's a 4-year ban, rip it up. I'm sorry, whatever you think about the player, whether he meant it or not, he already plays. He's bordering on 24 years old and already plays like a teenager. And we're going to get him back after 4 years of no football. He'll be 28 years old and he'll still be that teenager in terms of level.
True.
How can we move forward with that? And it's just you can't do that at all. You need to be better. You need to get better, and I'm sure there'll be clauses in the contract where you can exercise a termination, and he'll have signed that contract, so he can have no gripes with that. He can have no gripe with that unless it's sabotage. But then that's his own case to sort out. You're just going to lose too much development on him if it's 4 years. He'll be 28 years old and he'll still be this teenager mentally in terms of the IQ of the game. So there's no point for me if it's 4 years. Again, if the ban's shorter, there may be a bit more of a debate. But still, even if it's 2 years, you're going to get him back as a 26-year-old, and he's still going to be, in football terms, a teenager. So it's not good any way you look at it, unless he gets off with a fine. But again, we're assuming the B sample was positive, so it's all hypotheticals. Like I said before, it's really a can of worms. So yeah.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, it is a big can of worms. I feel like, and listen, I genuinely do feel bad for Mudryk. I think this is a really shitty scenario for him. It's his career at Chelsea has been chock full of controversy, and it really stinks because I'm sure he's you know what it is? To me, he's that one kid that just wants to impress, but goes about it it tries to be funny, right, and tries to be liked, but goes about it in the most stupid fucking ways. And it's like between the whole Joey Swole thing and the controversy with the gym thing, right, with the taking random pictures of people. What was the other thing he did? He did something else that was really, really stupid.
He rapped the N-word, I think.
Maybe. I think he also what else did he do? I think publicly commented on people or replied to people in comments and stuff like. Just
I know he liked the thing about he liked an Instagram post about Kukurela not passing to him. That was it.
Yeah, that's just a joke.
Yeah,
because that was true. Because Kukurela was actually avoiding him. I remember that game. He was like, "No, I passed it back."
Yeah, and it's just like there's a lot of stuff too around it. And it's at one point you got to think too, like, is this player more trouble than he's worth? And I did say this season I would give him until the end of the season to determine if I want him gone or not. And like this is the third season now, guys. And I'm at a point now where it's like, okay, now this, like, how many more excuses do we need to make for the guy? I think and again, for the player, right, the guy, the man, not the player, I should say. I feel like Mudryk is genuinely a really nice guy. I think he's trying his best to have his head on his shoulders and do the right thing. But as the player, I think I have to be cutthroat on this and just say, like, dude, Chelsea, if you have an opportunity to rip up the contract and get your money back, just do it. Just do it. Like, get him gone. Have it be someone else's problem at this point. Because we're 3 years in and we've still not gotten to anything remotely close to the value of this player. It's just business is business, and sometimes business is cold. Like I said, nothing against the person. I just think Chelsea is the number one priority here, and we gotta move on from the guy. We can't just give him all the time in the world. Like, I fear that if we give him until, like, even if he gets the band reduced, we're paying what, 80 mil for what, 4 or 3 years left of his contract, and we don't even know if he's going to be good when he comes back. So I think cut your losses here.
If it's a 4-year ban, we probably expect a very rusty Mudryk, who was never really all that.
If it's a 4-year ban,
forget that. We're terminating the contract. It's not even a question.
It has to be.
I think Chelsea will
6
terminate
years
it.
and you've done nothing.
I think Chelsea would terminate it if it's 4 years.
Yeah.
But if it's 2 years,
I think
max,
you would too, Chris.
4 years, yes, probably, because there's no point at that point. It's kind of sad because his career be already over. He's barely had a career, to be honest, as a footballer. And this season, I felt like he's actually getting better. He's improving. He's playing games still. Who knows what could happen to Mudryk after that? At that point, I'm not saying he's gonna become a world-class player or like anything like that, but it's definitely.
I mean, okay, he's been better this season, but like the benchmark this season is not the Conference League. For the team, the benchmark is not going to be the Conference League. It's going to be the Premier League, and
even
you
look at
even in the Premier League, he's looked decent. Yeah,
he's actually
okay. He has. I remember the cross to Nkunku. I do remember that and stuff like. He's had moments, but when you're halfway through a season and you haven't started a single game, and we've got Pedro Neto, who's supposed to be a right winger, João Felix, who's supposed to be a number 10, Christopher Nkunku, who's supposed to be a striker /10, that have all started at left wing this season, and you haven't, when you're supposed to be a left winger yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, does that not indicate how low trust that he has at this level? There's a reason for that.
I mean, you're right. Like, he's not good enough to start for Chelsea's main team in the Premier League for sure. But I was just thinking, like, say if he improved this season, we can still get maybe 40 million from, like, or 40 million. He just goes off about his career somewhere else, and we just move on. I wouldn't mind that because we're gonna get no money back from Mudryk if we terminate his contract anyway.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think they will give them money back for what we paid for Mudryk. I don't think that's part of the deal.
Yeah,
no.
I do feel bad
This
for
is
him.
this is nothing to do with Shakhtar Donetsk. They're not going to repay us for Mudryk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The only thing
But-
is like we'd have to pay his money like contract wise.
Yeah.
I am interested though. Like, what's this whole thing about like suing the Ukrainian FA? Like, what do they have to do with it?
If it happened in international duty during their watch, they could potentially, this is me spitballing, right? What could potentially happen is that the Chelsea could sue for malpractice, or at least like some like, you know, not disregard, but lack of awareness on their behalf. I forget what the actual terminology is called. It'll come to me shortly, but like probably some lack of awareness for what was going on in that camp, that Mudryk, this happened in Mudryk while it was on their watch. You know, like that's their asset, and you were responsible to make sure that the asset doesn't get compromised. Negligence. Thank you, Engraver. Gross negligence. Exactly, Suleiman. So it could be a thing of negligence, right, on the the Ukrainian FC's behalf. It could be, you know, because there are laws against, you know, negligence when it comes to children and other types of crimes and stuff. It could be something like that.
I was just thinking that though, because I was thinking of the question because, like, Mudryk's not the only Ukrainian player that's playing in England. We have Zinchenko at Arsenal. We have Mikalenko at Everton, and they're all a part. All these players are a part of the FA's testing program, and those two guys haven't been got. So clearly, it's not a systematic thing with Ukraine, and also the fact that it is as in the Ukraine national team, and also the fact that it happened in Ukraine and was in.
Yeah, it makes it more like of the idea of like, fuck, maybe someone actually did spike, not spike, or someone did try to sabotage Mudryk.
I don't know why.
And also the fact that it happened in Ukraine. It's a substance that's sold over the counter in those regions. This isn't a Chelsea thing. Like, I'm sure the whole Enzo Fernandez thing, where he's now with his trainer and he outpaced Madueke. That's a joke. I'm sure that's a joke, but there's definitely you can rule out any conspiracy, and Chelsea are giving their players these drugs. No, it's not that at all.
It'd be suicide to give your whole squad that.
But it's also like to go down a little further down that route, right? Of it potentially being sabotage. Maybe. Listen, take this with a pinch of salt, people, because I'm just running with a hypothetical here, right? What if, tinfoil hat, I got Christmas hat on, but we're going to go tinfoil hat. What if someone in the Ukrainian camp, a friend of Mudryk or someone, isn't happy with the playtime they're getting at Chelsea? Maybe they're looking for a way to get him out of his contract, to move him elsewhere, because he is in a prison contract, right?
They listened to Johnny Stream, man. They listened to Johnny Stream. That's what they did. Prison contract FC.
Fucking minerals, bruv. Let's have it right. That's a K a week, bruv.
That would be crazy if that's true, though. I can't lie. That's just crazy. Like, why the fuck you want to fuck him over Chelsea? Chelsea's a huge club to be at, still to learn from. And
but he doesn't play.
He does play right now. He is playing. He's just not playing the Premier League games because it's too hard for him. He's just sadly not good enough. I would love Mudryk to be good enough because he's got a great amount of pace. He looked very good against Liverpool in his debut. I was full on Mudryk's train at that point. Like, thinking this guy could be something, but nah. I just think that'd be crazy if a guy in Ukraine spiked Mudryk so he gets banned, because he still can't play football for like 2 to 4 years potentially. So you fucked him.
I mean, but this is the thing though. Like, even Paul Pogba's case, it got dumbed down to 18 to 15 months.
Something like that, yeah.
Still a long time, but I think, yeah, you never know. Like, there's so many things that it could be. I feel like if I had to put money on it, I could see it being someone in the Ukrainian camp saying like, hey, I want to get this kid out of Chelsea. He needs to play for a better club. I need him to play more competitively and get more play time.
You did the wrong way about it.
I'm gonna
Him
just,
playing football will be over if it's 4 years.
I'm just gonna prepare his meal and.
Bro, Sam. Yeah. Wait.
Not salt. It's meladonium. Don't do it. So yeah, I don't know. That's just tinfoil hat.
Even if it was that though, like at the end of the day, a performance-enhancing drug was found in his system, and whether he meant it or not, that's an unfair advantage.
Yeah,
and that has to be punished.
Of course. It sucks. Like I said, I can't emphasize this enough. It sucks. I feel bad for the person, right? But from the player's side of things and the financial side of it, I think Chelsea, cut your losses. This kid has had 3 seasons here, and there's always been some excuse for his performances. Now it's like, no, I can't do it anymore. I really can't.
I guess the only further avenue you take if it's sabotage, and this is purely be on the player's side, the player could obviously sue whoever had sabotaged him.
Yeah, exactly.
But there still has to be sporting sanctions for a performance-enhancing drug being found in the system.
100%. But
again, if that's bound to be what the case is, and if the B, whatever that happens with the B sample, we're only speculating, of course.
100%. Yeah, this is all speculation and such. I'm sure we'll have an update on the B sample later on in the week at some point. But it seems that even with the B sample coming back negative, that he will be serving a ban. It probably will be significantly shorter, but regardless, a ban will be given to Mudryk nonetheless. Also, to answer this chat, welcome to Casually Chelsea Show. This is what we do. We go over old news. Yeah, it's just what we do. We discuss all in a nice little compartmentalized 3-hour stream podcast type thing for you guys to enjoy while you're at work or to distract you while you are doing what you must do. Like Usyk was listening to our podcast while he was in the boxing match, just to give him the upper edge.
Is that easy for him, huh?
Yeah, 100%. But big up to everyone. Let's go ahead on to the next topic, which is transfer plan. We're going into January, and it seems like there's been a bit of a plan and a bit of some links from reliable sources that tell us what's going to be happening in January, which is only... That window is opening in a week, in 10 days. So 10 days until the January transfer window opens. 10 days until Man City get it together again, And
I'm not good enough. It's as simple as that.
So let's go ahead into the first tweet I have here. Chelsea are out of the overhaul business. The squad, contract, salary structure are now broadly where Clearlake want them to be. So from here, the upgrades will be more targeted and desired gains inevitably more marginal. This goes out to those Clearlake haters that were saying, this is the third transfer window. This is where the results used to happen. They promised us this and that. Well, yeah. The idea was to overhaul the team and get the big transfers out of the way by this time in the window. And now we're going to be making smaller transfers, more focused transfers on certain positions versus an overhaul like we did. We continue on. Chelsea do not share the sentiment from the outside that they are a top keeper and center back away from winning the league. The understanding is that the main core is now together, and although they will express market possibilities, no rash decisions will be made. I'm sure we'll be talking about this very soon. Who are Chelsea looking to sell? Chilwell, preferably a sale/loan. Carney, preferably a sale/loan. Sterling's going to be a sale. Chalobah a sale. Broja a sale. And David Fofana a sale. Let's continue on.
We didn't sell Broja, did we?
No, he's on loan to Everton. He finally just made his debut the other day for Everton. He was out injured for quite some time.
His arms got more
need muscle.
Motion.
Need muscle, you know what I mean?
Don't matter.
Yeah, that was him at Everton the other day.
Did you guys see Did you see Albanian football Twitter cooking his teammates for missing chances when he came on the pitch? They were so excited to see him back, and then his teammate skied it over the bar when he passed it to him.
I didn't see that. He actually, to be fair too, like, you know, he didn't, his debut at Everton actually wasn't that bad. He looked decent, but, you know, times.
No, it was. But what I'm saying is he created a chance for someone and they skied it over the bar, and the Albanian football fans were like mad at that. They were like, why do you sky it? He gave you a chance.
Yeah. I think the midfielder who will leave Chelsea in January window, in my information and opinion, is Cesar Casadei, and Carney Chukwuemeka could also leave, according to Fabrizio. We continue on. The idea is for Carney Chukwuemeka and Ben Chilwell to leave in January. We will see what happens with the loans for players like Mark Guehi. Let's see if they want... Oh, wait. I fucked up.
Hey Blues, this is how to say my name, Mark Guehi.
Mark
We
Guehi.
will also see what happens with loans for players like Mark Guehi. Let's see if they want to stay or go on loan. The situation will be assessed with Enzo Maresca, according to Fabrizio Romano as well. Let's continue on. Chelsea want 40 to 45 million pounds in all in to sell Carney Chukwuemeka, according to Ben Jacobs.
45 million.
Yeah.
Where they, like, he hasn't really played in a while.
Well, hold on.
Yeah, sorry.
Cesar
like,
Casadei will leave Chelsea in January, with Italian clubs interested. Possible loan and permanent deal with a buyback based on conditions, according to Fabrizio Romano. Cesar Casadei has open talks with Monza over a January loan move. Monza are currently 19th in this. Oh, I feel like this is not a good loan move in Serie A and battling against relegation in the second division. Jesus. Enzo Maresca says Chelsea have yet to make a decision over whether to recall midfielder Leslie Ugochukwu from his loan spell at Southampton next month, according to Simon Johnson. And apparently Sevilla are very interested in signing Mark Guehi.
Hey Blues, this is how to say my name, Mark Guehi.
Mark Guehi. Yeah, they say
Sevilla are very interested in
Just call
signing
it
Mark
Davies.
Guehi.
Come on now, what are we doing here?
Mark Guehi on loan in January. And then the last one here that caught me by surprise, coming from Graham Bailey, who is a decently reliable source here. Christopher Nkunku is willing to leave Chelsea in January. So
Don't go to
things
United.
there.
Don't go to United.
Do not go to
Please.
United. So,
I don't want Amron to actually cook with you.
Amron has a lot more problems than just.
He does have a lot of problems, but like he would help some of his problems.
Oh,
I don't want that. I want United to suffer. They can keep that Mason Mounts.
A few bits of news there, obviously.
Now, Chris, you forgot they need a left wing back. You know.
Yeah, Ben Chilwell. Hey,
Joe,
I'm just saying.
He got low wages, 100k a week, Navy. He's humble.
Yeah, he might. Listen, I'm sure Ben Chilwell has a move situated for himself already, because there's no way this whole time that you've been sitting on bench and sitting, not even on the bench, sitting on like the stands, just watching Chelsea play, you have not come up with a transfer for yourself to leave the club. Like, it's very obvious you're not going to play anymore, you know? But a few things to decipher here, guys. Christopher Nkunku. Rumors that Christopher Nkunku, a move for January move for him. I don't think this is true, but we'll see. There's also Carney for 40-45, which I think actually for the player, that's actually not a bad shout. That's my opinion. Casadei moved to Italy on loan for relegation side. And you also have Guehi. God damn it.
Mark Guehi.
Hey Blues, this is how to say my name, Mark Guehi.
It's
Mark
that
Guehi.
Guehi. It's like that
You
Mark
should have that on
Guehi.
loop. Marshall, you should have that on loop when you sleep, you know.
Yeah. Guehi.
Mark Guehi.
Guehi. Mark Guehi. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay.
I don't know what it is, because it's not actually
Mark
that hard to
Guehi
say.
on loan to Sevilla, which also I don't think is going to happen either. But what do you guys think?
I wouldn't actually mind keeping Mark Guehi. It sounds so weird.
Be
saying
careful.
that.
You gotta be careful.
I can't lie. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Guehi just comes off the tongue better for me. I don't know why. It's just weird for most of us, not just me.
Yeah.
Like you say about Carney Chukwuemeka, I think I understand what Chelsea do. They're not actually trying to send for 45 million. It's like with the Mason Mount and other players, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Broha,
That's true.
Remember Broha 50 million?
Yeah.
Now
That's
we
true.
went
That's
lower
true.
to 30. I think it's just like we're trying to like.
I was thinking
Okay,
that,
they
yeah.
go. They're definitely going to offer a lower price. So why don't we just whack it up to like a highish price for the player,
Mhm.
and then we'll meet in the middle, like where we originally really want to be, like 30 million for
Shit.
Carney Chukwuemeka. They'll definitely probably take 30 million from 30, 35 maybe. He is talented.
Yeah, I think he's a good player.
talented player, but guess what? It's just Chelsea have too many talented tens in there. You just can't really play. You can maybe play the Conference League, of course, but like then again, we're playing Cuckoo in the Conference League. Then what the fuck? Like where do we actually play Carney? It's actually very unlucky for Carney, but hopefully he does get the move. To be honest, there's no room at Chelsea, and that's just the utter truth of it. Like
Yeah.
I don't know where you fit.
Yeah, and I think I agree with you. I think with Carney, there is a very good player in there. Unfortunately for him, injuries plagued him. Pochettino plagued him.
I am not a clown.
And yeah, and just now with the way, I think the biggest thing that happened that kind of put a spanner into the works, right, for all these players is
What?
Cole Palmer stepping into the mix pretty much. I don't think any of us here expected Cole Palmer to be nearly as good as he was, and he's playing in those positions that, you know, it's the positions that Carney wants to play, the 10. That's the position that Nkunku wants to play, the 10. You know, like
even João Felix plays there.
Even João Felix. So it's one of those that it's hard. You tough luck. You know, like you're gonna have to find another move. I think I don't think the Guehi. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
I think I said.
Yeah,
No,
you did.
I think you did, Mark Guehi. I think it's.
Hey Blues, this is how to say my name, Mark Guehi.
Guehi, okay. Guehi,
The thing is, I could say Aspilicueta fine, like,
yeah,
and then this guy is just like Mark Guehi, and I'm just saying Guehi.
Mark Guehi, okay. I don't think Mark Guehi or Nkunku leave into January. I feel like considering we only have one striker.
Wait, who said you said won't leave?
Nkunku.
You don't think he'll leave end of season?
No, in January.
Not January.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, are you good, bro?
See a straw?
January, Chris. January.
I'm talking you. Sorry.
I think it's one of those cases that like there's no way that they leave considering the depth. So that's where I stand with that, and I do feel Leslie is going to come back. I feel Leslie Ugochukwu will be coming back to the club. He's not playing enough at Southampton. Things might change because Russell Martin got the sack, but I feel like we need, considering Lavia is injury prone.
Marshall, it didn't change. So their interim just managed the Carabao Cup game against Liverpool, and he wasn't even in the squad.
Well,
yeah,
nothing's changed.
There's that. So yeah, I think he needs to come back in order. Like we need to do what we did with him with. We need to do with him what we did with.
We did
Santos.
Cassidy. I think we called back Cassidy and Santos. Yeah, that's another one too. Santos ended up going back out on loan. We called him back and then we sent him to Strasbourg, which worked out perfectly for him. But I just don't think words.
Santos?
I'm trying to words. I don't think we could send him to Strasbourg though. That's the issue with Leslie Ugochukwu.
No.
So we could use him though. I feel like we could use him because too many names going on right now. Sorry.
Lavia.
For
You're
just
thinking of
depth.
Lavia, right?
Yeah, for depth.
I mean,
Lavia.
Lavia does get injuries here and there, doesn't he? So.
Yeah, big up Soliman for the 20 Egyptian pound donation. Merry Christmas, Chelsea fam. Merry Christmas to you, my friend, as well. Thank you for your donation. I do appreciate the super chat. But yeah, like I think we need the depth, and I think Leslie in the preseason looked pretty decent. I wouldn't mind trying him out in this team. I mean, what do you guys think? Just in general, the Cassidy, Leslie, Guehi, and Nkunku and all that. Actually, Oliver, go ahead.
I think it's as simple as this, really. I mean, with particularly with Leslie Ugochukwu, I think if Cassidy leaves, he just takes that place in the Conference League and he plays as the DM in those games, and it's a low enough level of opposition. Leslie's played enough football in France to be at the level to handle that. So I don't see a problem there. And then, of course, you've got Lavia, who's becoming a persistent injury issue.
Yeah.
It's for the best, really. We need to have the depth there so that we're not overwhelming Caicedo, who is arguably our player of the season. So he needs to have ample rest when given the chance to have it. So that works out. Chukwuemeka, I mean, it's a shame with him because he is a good player, but he's a casualty of A, the injuries, and B, also people need to remember he's on £100,000 a week. He predates the wage structure, and
this is true.
His role in the squad simply does not reflect that. Like he is, he if he was signed today, like at that level as a prospect, then he would be probably closer to 70, even 60k, maybe even lower. So that's just going to be the perspective. And again, with the injuries, I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but the game, what was the cup game we played? Who did we play again?
The cup one?
Morecamp.
Oh no! Sorry. What was the game he played? No, my bad. What was the game that he played in Europe?
We just played Shamrock Rope. Shamshock.
No.
Shamrock.
Astana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so the Astana game was his first start at Chelsea since he got the injury against West Ham in our second game of the season under Pochettino. It's been nearly a year and a half since he started a football match.
Yeah. Also, real quick, big up JC for the £2 donation. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. Thank you. I appreciate it, JC. Always a active member in the chat, along with Soliman. So big up to you guys for your super chats there. And Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to you guys as well. Oliver, anything else you wanted to mention there? Or was that your closing statement?
I guess all I'd say is, Maresca didn't comment on bringing back Ugochukwu. I mean, he can't really do that. A manager's not going to say before a transfer window,
That's true.
Yeah, we're bringing him back. Like that's just him playing the media game. It's nothing more than that. He is coming back. Mm-hmm. We've got a track record of this before. If a player's not doing well on their loan, then he comes back. But the club need to learn from this. We've I know Scott has made a persistent point on this with our loan strategy and organisation. Just get it right. Like, we're getting far too many of these wrong, and it's constantly these promoted clubs that we send our players to, or clubs that are 99% guaranteed to be fighting relegation, and the managers never pick our players. Whereas you look at when Cassidy went to Leicester, who are a top-level Championship club, and he was getting the minutes. So I think we need to redirect from this Prem-proven thing, give them Premier League minutes. They're not getting the minutes anyway. Send them to the top of the Championship, and they'll actually get the game time.
I mean,
that's the way I see it.
Sending players to the Championship, by the way, because we had Tammy Abraham there, who had a good year, and I don't think he was like completely shit at Chelsea. He did get like 15 goals or something. I know he had that great purple patch, of course, but then you look at Reece James, and I watched Reece James in the Championship, and he was just unreal, and I thought, yeah, he's going to do it at the Premier League as well. So, like, you doing the Championship as, look at Gilchrist, Championship player as well there. I just almost forgot about too. Yeah, like I don't mind saying Championship. It's actually not a bad league considering to be like a second.
I was discussing our loans with a couple of people online, and I was trying to rack my brain, and I came to the conclusion that, like, based on like us sending players on loan to promoted clubs or clubs that are in relegation fights, the only one that's been a success is Gallagher at West Brom. We had Gilmore at Norwich, that failed. We had what's his face? We had Ethan Ampadu at Sheffield United, that failed. We've just had Ugochukwu at Southampton, that failed. We've had Santos at Nottingham Forest, that failed. The fail column is getting very big there. And it's a common denominator. It's these relegation fighting clubs that just don't care about our players, and they just there's no jeopardy to leaving them out of the squad.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys feel like this potential loan for Cassidy is a good one? Because we you're mentioning all these the relegation fighting sides and all this. That's kind of where this Italian club is at.
Italian club.
But if the aim is to sell Cassidy and it's a loan with obligation to buy, then it doesn't matter.
Okay, that's fair, I guess. Yeah. Do you guys like the? I mean, I think you do. I'm probably one of the few people in the Chelsea camp that actually I think there's a good player in Cassidy, and I wouldn't mind keeping him. But considering how much talent we have and how much upcoming talent is coming and all that, which by the way we'll go over the upcoming talent in another show. It's like Cassidy, I think, is in the bottom of that bunch. And I don't even think, I think he's in that same camp of Carney, where it's like, you're good, but I think we have players that are better. Santos, Leslie, time will tell with Leslie. I think Leslie's better in that position that Cassidy's been playing in that 6th position, right? Which, by the way, that's not his natural position. We've emphasized this before, but he's doing a good job there, or a decent job. But again, it's like there are better players in our system that I just don't think Cassidy has really shined so much that he merits staying in the team. But I wish he could have time. But it is what it is. It's Chelsea at the end of the day.
But then, like looking at Carney Chukwuemeka as well. Like same case with Cassidy, where you've got like a Santos coming in. With Chukwuemeka, you've got Paez and Esteval coming in that can play 10s.
Yeah, exactly. So he's not going to even get a chance to play his natural position. So it's one of those like, I mean, Cassidy, I don't think you're better than these 2 players that are coming up. We got to move you on. So be it. Like same thing with the same energy I hold for Carney. I like Carney. I wish we could keep Carney, but at the end of the day, you look at the position, you look at the players that we have in those positions, and it's like, tough luck. Like, this is Chelsea Football Club. We have finally gotten back to the point where we've raised the bar so high that, like, players are just going to find it tough to get in. We're going to lose players like KDBs. We're going to lose players like Salah's. And you know what? I don't mind being in that position again for Chelsea. Mind you.
I don't want to lose another KDB. I can't lie. I hurt.
Yeah, but listen, man. We have so many good players that we're going to have to lose some good players.
I know. I'm not worried about Cassidy being the next KDB. No offense to Cassidy. He's obviously an okay player, but...
Clip it!
Yeah, clip it. Because...
clip it!
What? Disrespectful.
Well, you can clip it. Say Cassidy balls out, like he's unreal. Like, he has to be unreal, like, at a big club. Then, yeah,
Who will be there? Do you care, though? Who will be there?
He's
We'll be there,
I've got to say, by the way... after the City game today, like I'm just going to confirm it. We've gotten our revenge for Kevin De Bruyne on Manchester City. I know we didn't sell to them, but we got Cole Palmer now, and they're washed. So life is good.
Hey, stay humble, eh? I was like, let's scratch my head, and I looked up and it's a goddamn fish.
Stay humble, eh?
And I said at the right time by the looks of it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Oliver. I think their title chances are done. I think we got our revenge as well. Like, hey, they could have used a Cole Palmer now, and they're struggling, man. They're struggling.
Hey, Chelsea fans, talk to me now. Does Kovacic still start in our midfield? What are we saying?
Don't know.
Right
now,
you know what I mean?
I mean, I could have used him.
That was the argument in the summer. That's what people were telling me. I don't know.
No. Yeah, like
he's still good. I think he's still solid. Okay, lately
he's good, but he's injury
prone. He's not had a bad season. I don't think even this season.
But I can't complain with my midfield that I have. Like I would love to have Kovacic as a rotational. but I just don't think he starts.
He would
out
play in
and
the
out.
Conference League more, though. That's the sad thing.
Well, that's the argument, but anyway.
Damn, Kovacic in the Conference League disrespect
No,
is crazy.
he would play Premier League games, of course, like like substitutions, but he'd get like how Nkuku, Felix, he'd be more starting in the Conference League, and that's sad to say because like he was one of our best midfielders when we won the Champions League.
Hey, Marshall, you say well to Kovacic in the Conference League. The way they're going to be there next season. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, if not worse. I mean, I said in the last show that I was on, like they are trending on Graham Potter Chelsea form right now. Like one win in 12 games.
Yeah, that is.
I am not a clown.
It was never this bad.
Not under Poch, no.
Poch's form was never this bad. No, but I'm telling you, Poch's form.
Yeah, it's never hit this bad.
Was never this bad. Even Lampard's form. Oh my days! Even Lampard's form was never this bad.
Rolling? I'm out of here, man.
That's gonna be Pep, man. That's gonna be Pep. End of the season, I'm out of here. I'm done.
Yeah.
I've done what I did. I won everything. I won 6 Premier Leagues. I won the 4P. Like, you guys can sort your own mess now. My players are like gone. They're old.
Yeah, no, it's getting pretty bad. So we'll see what happens with these guys.
Man.
But yeah, that's some of the transfer news that we have in terms of the January moves. We got Cassidy, potentially a January move. Carney, Chilwell, and Kunku's being rumored. I don't think that's true. Guehi as well, another one that I don't think is going to be true either because I think the depth is we need the depth there. And,
I like Guehi, but I would keep Guehi.
Yeah.
I think it's actually good.
Chris.
No.
Yeah.
Hey Blues, this is how to say my name, Mark Guehi.
Mark Guehi. I think there's a great talent with him. Like, obviously, at the start of the season, he's a bit reckless. He's a bit like he still does the pressing. What's great, I love about him. He's always looking for opportunities to score. But there's definitely a talent. He has great movement. I do like strikers with good movement. You know me with Timo here. I love this movement, but hopefully Guehi, he definitely takes his chances more in the future. And so far in the Conference League, he's really coming to his own. Like he's top scorer of the league now. I know it's like the Conference League, but he's 18 years old. I know, he plays for Chelsea, but there's a good future for Guehi. Anyway, let's say that.
Yeah. And speaking of futures, I think this is going to transition me into the next topic I wanted to discuss, which is we have young players, right? And so there's a bit of news regarding some of these young talents that we have. So let's discuss it with the youth roundup here. Omari Kellyman, who I thought was out for the season, but apparently not. It's been a mixed bag of news with this guy. Omari Kellyman, who we got from Aston Villa, 18-year-old. Omari Kellyman's rehab is on track following his hamstring injury. If all goes to plan, Kellyman will feature for Chelsea's under-21s against Newcastle on December 16th and or Bournemouth December 21st. Chelsea have high hopes for him after investing £19 million on the player. And if you guys remember the context, it was very questionable £19 million. We move here. Chelsea midfielder Omari Kellyman is open to a loan move in January. He has not played a minute in Enzo Maresca's senior team since arriving. What? Wait, hold. Huh? What?
What?
Yeah, dude, he's been injured. Nazar, what are we doing here? He's been injured. Yeah, that's why he hasn't played. All right, let's continue. Exclusive.
I swear he wasn't registered even registered in the squad though, right?
I don't even think so. Actually, he might be in the Conference League squad. I'll check in a minute. So Fabrizio, apparently we have a here we go. Exclusive. Chelsea have completed a deal to sign England U16 talent Mathis Ubui. I think I pronounced that right. From Watford. High-quality attacking player, Ubui is former Arsenal player's son, now can be considered a CFC player. Paperwork done, one more for Chelsea Academy, long-term plan. Here we go. And then lastly here, David Washington. Remember him? Denzel Washington. Chelsea are considering a loan for Washington to a club in Spain, Portugal, or England. David, on the other hand, prefers to play in one of the latter two countries. Flamengo is also still an option. according to Trivela, I guess a Brazilian news source here. But Omari Kellyman, I'll look into that. Finally able to play soon. I think he's been injured. I don't think he's looking. Oh well, whatever. It doesn't matter. We also have that new youth kid, Ebui, and David Washington trying to get a loan move. Don't know if there's much to say on this, guys, because I don't watch youth football, but maybe some of you guys do. What do you think?
Yeah, I watch youth all the time. Brilliant. I don't know, like I don't know what person actually. Okay.
What?
Yes. I don't think anyone, even in the chat, watches youth football. No one in Discord I know watches youth football. I don't know, like, how old is Washington as well? Like 18, 19? He's young.
Let's check.
Like,
I think
he had
19.
He had a couple of cameos at Chelsea.
He's
senior.
19 years old.
Yeah.
How do I remember these ages? But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I just loan him and just make investments and profits or whatever on these players because I don't see. It's quite hard because Chelsea actually really stacked themselves pretty well in this lineup of like team they got now, like of 22-year-olds, 21-year-olds, 20-year-olds, and 24-year-olds. What can last for a good while, and players like Washington, even Mark Guehi, like I think he's like second in line for being a backup.
Hey Blues, this is how to say my name, Mark Guehi.
Mark Guehi. Okay.
Go ahead.
Like
he's not in the conference league squad, by the way. To answer your question.
No, he's not.
Oliver.
Like he's. Yeah.
Kellyman. Sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Chris.
Kellyman. Like yeah, like there's not very much you can say about him. I just hope they do well in the future. Like they can either make Chelsea good money or they can actually somehow break into the Chelsea lineup. If they're like, they have to be good. I'm telling you, they have to be good. Like maybe replace someone in the lineup or whoever it is, like a Sancho or something, or a Neto. Say they're a good winger, or Jackson, because Jackson's on fire right now as well.
Yes.
Like it's just. It's not easy. So for them, it's just probably just developing and maybe being sold on, because it's not end of the world being sold on from Chelsea, really. Like you go to another club, make something of yourself, maybe. So yeah, like I wish them luck, whoever goes out on loan or whatever, because they're probably not gonna stay here.
Oh, so you think they're gonna be profit pretty much?
Basically, you don't think that, because we already bought a lot of young players who's in the lineup.
I think time will tell, because we still have to see how these talents develop.
Even Santos, like he's getting to the talks of Chelsea squad.
Yeah, because he's one of the. He even scored today. I don't know if you know that. He scored today.
He's good. I know.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you got Lavia, you got Caicedo, you got Enzo,
Yeah,
and then you got
want it to
Santos.
be competitive.
Oh, I do. But
You know what I mean? Like, I like the fact that we have a bench that we could be like, holy shit, bro, Enzo Fernandez just came off the bench. What the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. It's crazy.
I think Santos will definitely be starting on that bench when he comes to Chelsea. He integrates.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, we'll see how he does at Chelsea anyway, and I hope he does pretty well.
Yeah, he's killing
It's
it
important
right now.
we have players
He's
of
one of the best. Wait, Oliver, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't he one of the best youth defense? And not even youth. He's one of the best midfielders in Europe right now.
Andres
Young.
Santos.
You're talking about young though, right? Like,
I think in
No.
general.
In general?
Yeah, I think in general. I'll look up the stat.
Like, because there's obviously great midfielders out there like Valverde, De Jong, Enzo, Caicedo, Rodri. Just top of my head. What's his name from Inter, the midfielder? The Italian one. It's just Barella, great midfielder. I'm just talking about some of these experienced midfielders.
Okay,
McAllister is a great midfielder, I think.
This came out 4 months ago. I probably can find something more relevant. But I think what it is Andres Santos is one of the highest rated central midfielders in Europe's top 5 leagues so far this season, with an 8.14. So I guess in terms of rating, he's up there. I'll find something.
I'm glad he's coming up there, because this loan has fully worked.
No, for sure.
What you can do.
Yeah, Oliver, your thoughts on some of these youth rumors and stuff?
I mean, apart from just being baffled that we're doing Here We Goes for a 15-year-old, like, oh my god.
Fabrizio's bored.
Oh, this is crazy. Like, I hope no one out there actually knows anything about this guy, because I'm looking at you side-eyed. But anyway, god damn, you know what I mean?
Fabrizio.
Sorry, the wrong one.
Oh, hide your hard drive. Hide it.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Omari Kellyman, he's a PSR signing if I've ever seen one. That was a swap with Matson, just to, you know what I mean? Like,
Say that.
You won that debate.
Poor Matson. He's not even getting the Aston Villa lineup.
yeah, but he starts it. Yeah, whatever, man. Anyway, I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about these youth players at all, but hey, listen, I going back to what Chris was saying, I think we will see down the line if they come into the first team, because there are some players like Santos that, for example, they can come in and they're already proven to show.
Before I go, but with Santos, we already spoke about before he went on loan. There's potential there, and we think he could be a good midfielder, like with Washington. I'm not saying he can't become a world-class striker, because he's 19. Anything can really happen. You sometimes don't develop until you're like 24. Sometimes like become a really good player. But we already knew with Santos. I can see. But yeah, like with Santos, we already knew like he could become something good at Chelsea. So with Washington,
That's
we
what
just
I mean.
thought,
like Washington, we haven't.
We looked
seen
at Washington
him play.
profit.
Exactly.
No way, I'll be real. We looked at like
yeah, I could see that, but like, let's see how these players play when they actually get a loan, because they've been stuck at Chelsea, right? When they actually get a loan, maybe something will happen. We'll have like a Santos moment. It's kind of what I'm trying to allude to. Who knows? But let's actually go to the next segment that I have here for you guys, and that's going to be another big one that happened this week that I'm sure many Chelsea fans are talking about, many Chelsea fans are excited about, and it's finally done, ladies and gents. Our boy Acheampong has finally signed a new deal, so big up to him. Let's get into it. Here's a few tweets to get us started here. Enzo Maresca has confirmed Chelsea Academy graduate Acheampong is close to signing a new contract. The agreement between Chelsea and Josh Acheampong over a new deal is almost done. CFC explained again their future view, final details to be sorted. Maresca confirmed, the club loves Josh, I love Josh, we are almost there for his new deal. He's set to start tomorrow. Josh Acheampong never wanted to sign a new deal in recent months due to pathway. However, Chelsea have presented a future plan and an agreement is close. Acheampong is going to start tomorrow. So that was earlier in the week. This is also a continuation of that. Enzo Maresca is known to be keen on working with such prospect like Acheampong and interrogating them into his plans. We continue on. Exclusive emerging talent Josh Acheampong commits to and that's the Ornstein Bamba right here. Chelsea emerging talent Acheampong commits to signing a new and improved 4.5-year contract. 18-year-old defender's previous deal expired June 2026. Fresh terms extend to summer 2029. Ends uncertainty over future of England Youth International. I struggle to read that one. And here's the official announcement. Josh Acheampong contract until 2029. Josh Acheampong's camp craved assurance about there being a pathway to play for the senior side without making any over-the-top demands about being picked regularly in the Premier League. One more thing here we have on Josh Acheampong signing a new deal. The key to the turnaround was the lobbying of Win Stanley, Lawrence Stewart, and Shields, plus technical director of Chelsea's academy, Glenn van der Kraan. Enzo Maresca had a role in it too by calling a meeting with Acheampong to reassure him that he would get to play under him. Chelsea see Josh Acheampong as the third choice right back behind captain Reece James and Malagusto, as well as someone who can perform at center back. And then lastly here, Josh Acheampong saying, my goal is to be known as a club legend, so just hard work every day and doing whatever I can to make it, which, hey man, I'm all for it. If you make it as a club legend, if you perform at that high level, I'm all for it. I have nothing to complain about his recent performances, but I do eventually down the line want to see more and more to the point where you are inevitable, right? So, I mean, I think it's a big deal. A lot of people were very excited about this signing. People really want this kid, and they really have a lot of high hopes for him. But Chris, what are your thoughts on this one, real quick, while I take a step out for a second?
Yeah, like, we all been wanting, obviously, Acheampong to sign a contract. The one thing I couldn't understand is, like, why he was stalling, because, like, Oliver, like, Reece James is getting injured a lot. Gusto wasn't performing that well, and yeah, he could go into that right back role. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know everything about this kid. He's originally centre back, right? Or am I?
I don't think so, actually. I think.
Okay. So
I don't think so.
Right. I thought for some reason maybe
Just a tall right back. Yeah.
Yeah, like I some reason thought he's a centre back. I heard maybe he's a centre back.
Well, he looks like it, and he can play that.
No, like he's got a build for it and everything, and I think he could play that role. Like under Maresca's system as well. The thing is, he'd be perfect for like like the right-sided right back where they just sit deep and let the left.
That's what he's been doing in the Conference League.
Yeah, and that's why I couldn't understand why he was waiting so long. I don't know if it's like his age and what we can get more money, or like you get like better starting minutes or whatever. Like I don't know what it was, bonuses or whatnot, but like it just didn't make any sense why he wouldn't sign that contract. But now he's finally signed a contract, and that's what I want to see, because we need like that third choice, like right back. Like the raid.
Big up Don Hussam for the raid. I go to the toilet for 1 second, I come back to a raid. Love to see it. Big up to Don Hussam and everyone that just joined in from the stream. Be sure to smash a like on your way in. Be sure to subscribe if you are new here as well. And thank you, Don Hussam, once again for the raid. Sorry to interrupt, guys. Go ahead. Whoever was
it's the one thing we couldn't understand why he wouldn't sign a contract, because Reece James is like getting injuries, and we don't know where Reece James' career goes for considering how many injuries he gets. And as sad as that sounds, but like, and now Gusto is not performing this season. You think, oh, this kid's gonna have a chance, like, right? But he doesn't sign the contract, so Chelsea's policy is like, we're not playing you until you sign that contract, and that's fair enough. He's finally done it. I don't know if there's a reason for like money reasons, like bonuses or whatever, or he has to play a certain amount of minutes or whatever. But he's finally got over the line, and that's good. And he can fit into Enzo Maresca's system, even in the Premier League. That right-sided right back, where you sit deep. He can do that good because he's got the build for it. He's tall. He's a big defender.
Do you like him, Chris?
I actually do like. I haven't seen much of him, but I do like the feel of it, and I'm trusting a lot of people what they look into him and what they say about him as well. But more time will tell with him. But like, this is what I want. I want a third choice who came from like more of our academy where we don't have to spend money, and he's good enough to play there. For Chelsea anyway. Let's say that somewhat a level. So I'm glad he signed it, honestly. Hopefully he stays here for a few years and proves his worth and becomes a legend as he wants to be. Time will tell on that, because I don't know, how old is he? 19? Yeah, 19. So it's going to take some time. But time will tell. I think his actions got to speak for his words as well, for sure.
100%. No, I agree with that. I mean, Oliver, where do you stand on all this with Acheampong?
I'm just happy he got done. I mean, whatever the reasons were that it took time, the fact of the matter is it's resolved. They came to a compromise. And now he's ours for however many years. And judging by what people say, he is like, quote unquote, the next one out of Cobham. He is the most hyped prospect. And now he's made the graduation along with Tariq George. It's good. It's good. It's good vibes, you know. A lot of questions on how the club viewed the academy, but then you see, I don't know if you're going to play it or if you can, but Maresca effectively inducting them into the first team in the changing room.
Oh yeah, there was Chelsea came out with that video. Yeah, I'm not going to play it. I don't have it.
No, that's fine. But and you have Paul Winstanley, who was actually standing in the back with the coaching staff as well. Like, it's just shutting down a lot of narratives that Maresca was hired as a yes man to sell the youth. No, like
remember that.
There's been a collaboration here with, Maresca's obviously, as it's been reported, he's been meeting with the player and the representatives to explain pathways and whatnot. And of course, we did get the Astana game where he played before the contract was even signed, and then he's played after the contract was signed. So I guess the next step now is to, I don't know, slowly see him integrated into the league. And if we can keep the form going as it currently is, we should be in control of games to a point where 70th minute we're 2-0 up, bring him on, and I'd be fine with that. And if he's of the level, then he'll show it. If not, then it's just more learning experience for him, because he played like 5 minutes under Pochettino last season, so we're not going to say he gained much off that, are we?
Yeah,
I'm not even here to clown on Pochettino, and I certainly could do that because he's better. I mean, yeah, he is better than Alfie Gilchrist. I can tell that straight away. But he didn't gain anything from that 5 minutes, so it's going to be a more regular thing this season. So hopefully we see more. I'm excited.
Can I ask you this then, Oliver? Based on what you've seen, what do you like about Acheampong? What you've seen so far, I should say.
I can't claim to have seen a lot, but I think the versatility is definitely a factor. Being able to play centre back and right back, that's definitely going to help us. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be at the level to do. He's not going to be at the level to do this yet. But you've got Fofana, who I think Fofana's injury thing has been blown out of proportion massively. He played, before his injury, there were 13 league games and he played 12 of them.
Yeah,
I think he did quite well to.
As Reece, as some people seem.
Yeah, Fofana did well to get to the point where he did before he got injured. So I think the injury thing is a bit overblown with him, but regardless, there is still a concern. He has a bad history. So I'm not saying now, but maybe one day he, instead of playing right back, he fills in as the centre back.
Yeah,
and
I could see that.
You have a solution there, but apart from that, he looks good on the ball. Good physicality with the build, and there's room to grow. He's 19 years old, so a lot of upside, definitely.
No, exactly. And I mean, listen, this is awkward to say, so I'm just going to say it anyways. I like his build. He's got a good build. I mean, he's tall. He's got a good physicality, physical features that, like, if he develops well, he could be a very good player. I can see that. I want to see more of the techniques and the ability on the pitch. I want to see more game time, and I'm going to focus in a little bit more on him too. Because I'm going to be so honest with you guys, with the Conference League games, sometimes like it's such a landslide that I just tune out. But maybe now that Acheampong is here till at least 2029, I think I'm going to be paying a little bit closer attention to the kid and see what I like about his game and what I don't, and see how he develops from there, right? Same thing with Tariq George, which Tariq George I did analyze properly after the Shamrock Rovers game. But time will tell with this one. I think if Maresca likes him, if Maresca is saying all these nice things about him, and if Joe Shields wants him in the club, then that says a lot, in my opinion. Joe Shields' seal of approval, man. That's sometimes that's all you need. But let's continue on. A few more topics left to the show. Once again, if you guys are just tuning in from the Don Hussam raid or have been here since we started about 2 hours ago, big up to all of you guys. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Smash up that like because it helps out the channel tremendously. You guys don't understand, or maybe you do. With YouTube, there's a whole algorithm that, hitting that like button ensures that it gets the video and the stream out to more people. It helps the channel grow. So that simple click of a like helps us out tremendously. So especially it being Christmas, guys. Listen, this is a time of giving. It's a time of cheers. It's time to be jolly. So be sure to smash up the like so that you help out the channel. And I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you are a member, check out the memberships. Why not? And check out the stream goal for today as well. We'll see if we can do a Christmas stream if we hit that goal. But let's go ahead and continue on to our next topic, which is James' return. Yeah, ladies and gents, we have a potential return of Reece James. Let's talk about it. What am I talking about with Reece James returning? Well, let's start off with the context. Reece James is not expected to play again before the end of December, with Chelsea supporting him in every possible way. This was the news that was reported 3 weeks ago when the injury first occurred. James is not for sale. News on his hamstring injury is expected this week. And you know what? We never really got the news on the hamstring injury. But what we did learn about the hamstring injury is that it's a new issue on the right leg rather than the left leg he had an operation on. Is regarded as something to be positive about, I guess. So it's not the operation going bad. It's a new hamstring injury on the other one, which hopefully that's not a sign of things to come. But time will tell with that one. Chelsea are also aware of the mental battle James faces and will support him in every possible way. That includes not putting pressure on him to rush back and attempting to minimize the focus on a set time phrase. And I think this is the big thing to focus on, right? Is not to minimize and focus on a set time frame. So notice how we never got a real time frame for him. And the news has been really quiet on him, which I think we've done a good job of. Chelsea really wants to protect Reece James publicly and in private. They don't want to expose the next steps of his recovery. They want to keep him away from all the media rumors and stories. They back him, and he won't be leaving in January. So obviously big rumors about, hey, he's injury prone. This is happening again. He's not fixed. Sell him. But, you know what I said, guys. I said, I think this is it. I don't see him playing more than 75% of games. I don't see him even playing half of the games in the season. I think we should start moving towards selling him. I still hold to that, by the way. But it's not going to be in January. It's not going to be soon. Maybe in 2 or 3 years down the line. We continue. Fabrizio Romano here reporting, Reece James back in partial team training. Excellent news for Chelsea. Reece will finally start with us for part of the season. Slowly, he'll be back, says Maresca. We'll now build his condition, and then we will be ready to play. He'll be ready to play. Doesn't mean it will be this Sunday. So, won't be rushing him back. He will potentially be available come January time, right? Which is what we were saying earlier on when the news broke out that he got injured. January time is potentially when he will be back into fitness and back into playing for Chelsea, which is good to hear. Reece James being in the side is always good news, if you ask me. We do need to manage his minutes, obviously. I think hopefully this time he can string at least 5 games together rather than just 3. But Oliver, where do you stand in this whole? Well, actually, I do know you are of the camp to move on from Reece James. That much I believe is true. Or correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I'm right. Telling the truth on that one. Where do you stand with this right now, man? How do you feel about the news? Obviously, it's positive news, so.
I mean, it's always positive to get a player back. That much can't be denied. But just been here so many times before. It's I'm very numb to it now. There's no dopamine rush to Reece James being back. I mean, okay, have a good game here and there, but do it over a period of time. This is all I've been asking for over 3 years. And I'm not saying it's his fault, but and that's the shame of it, really. But I am closer to the inclination to sell him. But if we're not going to, then can't control that. What I would do, and this is where I have to go against what the club is saying about they're trying to protect him. Keeping that captaincy on him does nothing to protect him. You have to get the captaincy off him, in my personal opinion. The pressure from me as a football fan, and I know I'm not I myself don't represent hundreds of thousands of people or whatnot, but I'm sure there are a lot of people that think like me. The pressure from me to him is that he is the club captain, and I want the club captain to be on the pitch. So I think getting that off him, and it would take a lot of, I'm sure it would take a lot of pressure off him as a person as well, his expectations for himself. He wants to do well for the club, and not being on the pitch, he's not going to be able to fulfill his duties as the captain. So that's my main thing at the moment, because January sale's not on the cards. So I just want the captaincy off him. And listen, we can have a discussion on who takes it. I'm willing to have that discussion. I'm not settled on that yet, but I can have the discussion if anyone wanted to. But that's my priority at the moment because, like I say, the sale's not on the table right now, and that's where we sit really. But getting Acheampong on the contract, that's definitely going to be a positive. If the hype around him from all the youth accounts is genuine, then and that he is the next one, then we do have a succession plan at least. Or at the very least, we do have another good player that can play that role. And with Malo Gusto, like he's not had a good start to the season, but he's 2021. I have faith that he can adapt. And in recent games, he has done. Like I like him more in this sort of right centre back in the 3 role than the inverted role. Mm-hmm. So we're definitely moving in the right direction.
The captaincy thing. Obviously, a lot of fans aren't going to be happy to hear that, but with the captaincy thing, I get where you're coming from. I think the issue is how you go about it. Like, how does it happen, But also, not even that. I think part of it is also, let's see at the end of the season how available he is this season, right? Because according to this news, right, it's good that the injury is the other one and not the operated one, which to me tells me like, okay, so the operated leg, the operated hamstring, things are going well. We've not regressed in that. We're making progress on that problematic hamstring. Now it's another hamstring on the other leg, which it could be a one thing. It could be a one-off, right? Or it could be, a reoccurring thing. Time will tell with that. But if this season he can string a good consistent amount of games and minutes and becomes more available than he's been in recent time, then maybe we don't even need to have the discussion of stripping him of the captaincy. Maybe he can be fit enough to maintain and retain that captaincy. And obviously, as these players get older, you have your Enzos, you have your Caicedos, even Cucurella at recent time gaining a captaincy. We do have these captains, rising up to the occasion and stepping up, which, time will tell. But with Reece, like, I still hold the idea that if it would take him not getting injured for the rest of the season to convince me that we don't need to sell him off eventually. It really would. And I don't know where you stand on that one, Oliver, in terms of what would need to change your mind for him to not be sold away.
I'm not really sure I have a defined criteria at this point. I mean, a lot of my frustrations with him are built on 3 years of the same reoccurring thing, and that's history. You can't change that. So I don't really have a defined criteria. Obviously, if I see improvements and he stays fit, then that's great, and I'd be very happy for that. Us people that are of the viewpoint that Reece James should be sold, or at least that you shouldn't rule out the possibility of him being sold. None of us hate the player. If he does well, then that's a win for the club, and we support the club. So, yeah, I'd be very happy for him to overcome that. But I was actually thinking, like, what I would love, like, from him as the captain. You were saying about, like, how do you get it off him? And this is very far fetched. I don't expect this to happen. But what I would love, like, this narratively as well, this would be fantastic. What if he stepped down as the captain and was like, I'm not fit to do this. Let me get back to that level where you're seeing me week in, week out. And then he gets it back later down the line. Like, again, very far-fetched, but that would make me respect him so much as a player. And not that I don't respect him, but that would just give him like 1,000 points for me.
Mm-hmm. No,
that's leadership.
Exactly. I think it's. How do I word this? I feel that Reece is one of the players in our squad that always has the best interest of the club at heart, and I think he's aware of the situation of captaincy. I think he's very much aware of it. And even then, like, you have Maresca calling him out too, if he's not aware of it. We had earlier in the season Maresca calling up his leadership abilities and all that. I think he's very much aware of where he stands on the pecking order, where he stands in the situation at Chelsea in terms of the captaincy. It's very possible that he could step down himself if another injury were to occur, right? It's also, like I said before, we do have leaders that are up and coming. I've said this since the moment he came to the club. I feel like Enzo Fernandez has always been a leader. Despite what you may think of his antics off the pitch, when you see his antics on the pitch and how vocal he is and how he's always pushing everyone, that's abilities that you see from a leader. Same thing goes, and I forgot to mention this, Levi Cole is another one that could potentially step into that role as well. Time will tell. He's getting more and more comfortable as a more senior member of the squad now. Cucurella, another more senior member of the squad, or becoming a more senior member of the squad. You see how Enzo Maresca is, giving him his plaudits in terms of what Cucurella does on the pitch. Another one that could step into that position as well. Like, there are players that are stepping up and into that role. And so finding a leader in the team isn't going to be an issue. Finding a captain in the team isn't going to be an issue. I think Pochettino did put us in a weird situation where you gave it to the vice captaincy and the captaincy you gave to two of the more injury prone players, which you shouldn't have done.
Yeah,
you should have gave it to Thiago Silva. Yeah, it was very short-sighted. You should have gave it to Thiago Silva. And I think at the time, most of the players already knew Thiago Silva was the captain, even without the armband. So, for me, I'm gonna reserve my judgment on Reece James until the end of the season. As of right now, where I stand with it, I do think the player needs to be moved on, because I do feel like he is an injury-prone player. And I do think that he should, surrender the captaincy if the idea is that he is going to be an injury-prone player. But that's not to say my opinion can't change. If at the end of the season, I'm looking at the season thinking like, yeah, Reece James played like what Chris says, and I think it's unlikely. I think Reece James played a decent part in the season and he was available for 15 to 20 games. Then you know what? Maybe we can get Reece James to stay fit. Maybe we can have Reece play a big part in this team, because next season, ladies and gents, if this season isn't a title charge, next season is definitely going to be a title charge. Yeah, that would be. But that's the thing, JC. You're saying that. I'm reading the comment right now. Apologies, people. We're not apologizing, actually. That's part of my job, right? Part of the show. Marshall, if we accidentally end up in a title chase, and with that tough run-in, if Reece comes back to the pitch fit towards the run-in, that would be huge. The problem with Reece is that he's not reliable, and we can't rely on him to be there for those tough run-ins. And that is a negative on Reece. So that's why, listen, we'll see at the end of the season what's going on. And I don't think there's too much made on the captaincy. I think the leadership aspects on the pitch are very important. We see how it's affecting Man City. We see how it's affecting Arsenal. It's a big part. Whether you believe it or not, but there always has to be a captain, a leader on the pitch. So, I don't know. I think for me, let's see what happens at the end of the season. I'm now repeating myself, and we'll assess Reece James' season. But I'm never of the mindset that I'm going to dig my heels in on my opinion, and that my opinion can't change. My opinion can definitely change on Reece, and maybe he proves me wrong at the end of the season, and we'll see next season where he stands. But considering next season, the idea is to be in a title charge, in my opinion, we need players that can be there. And if Reece can't be that player, then we need to move him on for players who can be there. He's not of the same, and Oliver said this earlier, he's not of the same category as Wesley Fofana, as far as I'm aware right now. Wesley is out. Wesley has been made available up until this point for 13 weeks, 14 weeks, I believe, right, Oliver? It's been 14 weeks now since his injury, or 14
I
weeks
don't know
of
in
playing
weeks.
until he got injured.
I don't know about weeks, but definitely, I know the stat off by heart. So, there was 13 Premier League games. He played 12 of them, and he missed one through suspension. That was the West Ham game.
Yeah.
So,
No,
in terms of matches, it's 12 out of 13.
Wait, West Ham? No, he played West Ham, didn't he? It was the Liverpool.
Oh
game.
no, my bad. What was the one that he was suspended for?
Liverpool.
No, Liverpool.
Also, this argument about you don't pay his wages. Listen, if taking his wages off the books means that I can give that wage to two more up-and-coming talents, then it does matter to me. I do care about that. It's a part of the game. The wages, how much players are getting paid. Why do you think we're selling... If wages didn't matter to you guys, right? If wages didn't matter to you guys in the fandom, then why do you care about Raheem Sterling being at the club? Why do you want to sell him on? We could just keep him away from the club, right? We can just do what we're doing at Chilwell. Like, there's a reason these things matter. We can make money off of Reece. We can get those wages off the books and give it to other players who are up-and-coming prospects that could come to the club that, you know, maybe our budget is too tight and we can't get the next so-and-so. You name it. So this argument about the wages doesn't matter. I don't pay the wages. That's utter nonsense to me. Utter nonsense. I mean, I don't know where you stand on that, Oliver, to be honest, because that's another one that people seem to really put off with Reece James in this argument.
I mean, I don't really have the energy to argue it. I mean, I am of your belief that it does matter, but at the same time, if people want to ignore it, then like whatever. I just don't have the energy for it. But
Say that. You won that debate.
Oliver does not
pretty
want
much.
that debate.
Not really.
Oh shit! But yeah, it's.
I think it's a much bigger problem with a Raheem Sterling where he's not performing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's. Yeah. I just don't know, like, because I'm so flabbergasted with the argument and with this whole Reece issue that, obviously, yes, I get it. The difference is he's a world-class player. If we can fix the issue, we'll be golden. That's the thing. I do want to see what happens in the long run. But as of right now, where I stand with my opinion is that if he continues in this trajectory where he's going to be fit for 5 games, then fucking injured, fit for 4 games, injured, get him gone. Get him gone. Doesn't have to be this summer. I think down the line, free up those wages, give it to 2 other youngsters, up and coming players, or give it to another player who's proven that will come into the club, and I'm Gucci. I'm Gucci. We move on. Sorry, Reece. I love you, but I love Chelsea more. You know. And that's where I stand with it. I'm not player FC.
Oh, that's a spot on line right there. Chelsea.
Yeah. I'm not player FC. And no one should be player FC. If you like Chelsea, you like Chelsea. The players are great. You have your favorites, but Chelsea comes first. But all right, that's enough about Reece. I'm gonna move on before I read more comments. Let's go on to.
Hey, let's end it on a positive note. Congratulations, you're back. You know.
Yeah, no, obviously, congrats that Reece is back. That's a great
There we
thing.
go.
So, yeah, obviously, yeah, that's a good thing. Reece is back, and I'm happy that he's back. Again, one of my favorite players in the team. I do want to see him perform, and I do want to see him flourish and strive. So hopefully it continues on, and hopefully he stays fit for the rest of the season. I would love to see him in more games because I think he's such a good player, and he would help us win games easily. Okay, let's go to the next segment that I have for you guys. Our final 3 segments here before we close off the show. And big up to everyone who's been tuning in. Big up to Oliver, who's been able to stay, and Chris, who was here today as well. Let's go over to the Monaco Bros leaving. Yeah, if you know what I mean by the Monaco Bros, then you know I'm talking about Mr. Benoit. And actually, I didn't have this segment ready. Fuck. Hold on. Here we go. Let's get this going. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. All right, let's talk about Benoit and Axel. So Benoit Badiashile remains highly valued at Chelsea despite falling below Colwell and Fofana in Maresca's pecking order. The internal consensus is that he continues to make positive development strides and at 23 has his best years ahead of him. That's coming from Liam Toomey. We continue on. Benoit Badiashile is attracting interest during the winter transfer window, and Juventus has shown interest. However, the London club wants to keep the French central defender in January, according to Fabrice Hawkins. And a little bit of an update on Benoit. The new Benoit Badiashile update is he suffered an injury in training, which looks like ruling him out for a while. Has come at a bad time. Wesley Fofana is already sidelined with a hamstring problem, so Chelsea could be without two important squad players for the busy Christmas period, according to Simon Johnson. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, we're looking at Axel. So, Axel Disasi, a lot of noise coming from the transfer windows that Axel is looking for a way out, all this, that he's going to be moved on. The noises coming out of Chelsea from the early days of preseason were that Axel Disasi was not considered technical enough to play in Enzo Maresca's system. His selection over the first 5 months of the campaign has done nothing to dispel that notion, according to Liam Toomey, which is harsh criticism, but I mean, it is true. He's not the most agile player, and the technical ability isn't really his strong suit. He's also been playing at right back a lot rather than a center back, but, you know, time will tell with that. But according to Nazar Kinsella, no plans for Disasi to leave in January, and Axel Disasi is happy at Chelsea and will not push for a move in the upcoming transfer window. So it seems like both players are going to be staying. And I think there's one thing that was pointed out in the earlier tweet that I think is a good thing to point out, which is Benoit is 23. He is still very young. Axel, I think, is one of our more senior players. Let me look at his age.
I think he's 27.
27. No, he's 26, probably going into 27 very soon.
I think the oldest player in the squad is probably between him, Tosin, and Sanchez.
Yeah. So there's more of an argument that Axel could be done, you know, we could do without Axel, sell him on. But part of the reason we even got him is because, you know, Fofana had that emergency injury, and it was emergency transfer for Axel pretty much. That was a large part of the reason we acquired Axel. And has Axel really stepped up to the expectation? Not really. I mean, I was expecting him to be a decent center back with ball playing ability from the back.
I don't think he didn't come in with a big reputation.
Not a big reputation, but when you looked at his ability, his stats, they inferred that he had a good ability to pass from the back. Kind of like how Thiago Silva would ping the ball from the back, right? And I've not seen really much of that. There's been glimpses of it in the Conference League, so on and so forth, especially when he's played at center back, but not really much. So yeah, I could see him going. But I feel like he does get a lot more hate than is merited. But yeah, but Badiashile, he's not been that much better either. And now he's injured again. So Axel's reliable. Doesn't have the passing ability that Badiashile has. Has been played at right back or right center back a lot, which he doesn't do well out wide. Did decently when he played at center back. Versus Badiashile that gets hurt and this shot of confidence, it seems. He has a good game, then he has two bad games, and he has 3 good games, and there's another bad game. And it's like, it's so hard to tell. He's very inconsistent, and it's better than last season where he was just shit in general. But for me, I don't know. This is a tough one. I don't know where you stand on it, Oliver, in terms of, I mean, who do you keep? Who do you make do with? Do you get rid of both? Or both not Chelsea level? Do you give Badiashile a chance? Do you give Axel a chance? I don't know. There's so many ways you can go about this.
I don't think they're in our future. I mean, I loved Benoit Badiashile when, as did most people, when he first came to the club in the Potter season and the Lampard season. I was a huge fan of him, but coming up to January, it's been 2 years, and we are basing everything good about him on 3 or 4 months of form out of 2 years. There's not much of a positive argument for him if we're really boiling it down to that. And yeah, he is young, but if the aim is to go for a Premier League title next season, then we need quality backups, and he is not of level to come in for. And listen, there are questions about our defenders, even the starting defenders, and we can have that debate another time if we want to. But if we want to ignore that for a second, you need quality backups, and he just hasn't shown the consistency over that period of time. And there is, unfortunately, as well, there is a not even developing, because even before he came to the club, there was an injury history, and it sadly continued. So yeah,
I just want to dispel this notion that, well, I hate to be the one to burst people's bubble, but we're not getting rid of any of our defenders in January, especially right now. We have Fofana that's injured, Badiashile that's injured. We're down to 3 center backs now that can play. It's just not going to happen. And you have Acheampong too. Acheampong you can consider center back. If you want to consider Renato Vega center back as well, you can put him in those conversations. But they're more wide players than they are center backs, right? So I just don't think it's going to happen. I think Trevor Chalobah is also injured, if not playing. Let me look at.
No, Chalobah just played against Arsenal in the cup.
Did he? Because he didn't play.
Yeah, he got
today.
spun by Jesus.
Yeah, this.
No, not today. No, in the cup.
Yeah, Chalobah's not that guy either. I'll be honest with you. I don't think either. Yeah, he was in the bench today. Yeah, my man was benched today. So I don't think Chalobah's the guy. I don't think they're either are good enough. Now, again, I don't think we're selling any center backs. So this idea that Disasi will go in January, or definitely not Benoit because he's injured now, not going to happen. We need the depth right now more than before, especially with this congested fixture schedule, right? But people in chat are saying another name, which that transitions me over to this one, is Guehi. So Mark Guehi, let's go ahead and discuss him. So apparently, according to Alex Crook, Chelsea are considering a summer swoop for Mark Guehi. The Blues have been alerted to the fact that his contract runs out at the end of the next season and it could be available for a cut price. Again, definitely not going to happen in January, considering the place that Crystal Palace are in. They're trying to stay out of a relegation position.
He's the club captain as well.
And he's a club captain. Like, I don't think that's going to happen in January. You'd have to pay a really, really hiked price to convince Crystal Palace to let him go. But in the summer, maybe. But also, like, I don't think this deal happens, to be honest, at all. I feel like it would be a move backwards for Chelsea because we got rid of him with a sell-on clause, I believe. Why would we get him back? I don't know. I feel like this is lazy journalism to me. It's just a link that we've had for a while and people are just continuing to link. I don't know how you feel about it, Oliver. And this is from 3 weeks ago, by the way, people. I don't think there's been fresh links to Mark Guehi for some time now. But again, he's a center back option that people are going to be talking about and saying we should probably go get him.
I mean, in relative terms, like, he just played in the European Championships, so he does have a high profile to an extent. He's an England international who, obviously, like I said, just played in European Championships. And he played fairly well, might I add, so can't criticise him for that. As a player overall, though, I just don't. I'm not even going to talk about how reliable the link is and whatnot. I just don't see it with him. Like, he's a fine player, but he's not going to take us places. I'm not getting him again. the expectation is challenge for the league title next season, or maybe even win it. Depending on how depending on I guess your standard. He's not going to take us places. I just don't see it. He's in a team where people can already make the argument that there isn't enough aerial dominance. He's 6'1", 6'0". Like he won't add anything from an aerial point of view, which is, again, people could argue that's a weakness. He doesn't add that. He's a fine player. Like, I'm not saying he's bad, but he's at Crystal Palace for a reason, and they haven't exactly pulled up trees. They've been consistently mid-table or lower, and that's not all his fault. But at the same time, he's not like raising their ceiling by very much.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, listen, nothing against Guehi. I think he is a good center back, but I just don't see us going backwards for this guy. I just don't. I was just talking to, and also JC. I don't know if you're saying we should go for Saliba. I really doubt we get Saliba. I really doubt we get him to leave Arsenal unless we win the league this season and we mud Arsenal. I really don't see him leaving Arsenal. Oliver, do you?
I think that would more depend on who we're competing with him for. Do Madrid come in? Because then that's a no contest.
Yeah, that's true.
And Real Madrid need a defender, and they love a free transfer. His contract's up next after next season, isn't it?
That I don't know. I don't know the details of Saliba. I don't keep track.
I have a feeling I heard that somewhere. I don't know. I was watching League Under in the morning. I feel like I've heard that somewhere, so maybe it was on. I don't know.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You know who I wouldn't mind getting? I wouldn't mind getting Murillo from Nottingham Forest, but because Nottingham Forest are in a title charge. Nottingham Forest are in a title charge. I don't know that.
Hey, if we are, then why
January. Not? I mean, I'm just saying, bro. Like,
say that.
Sure you won that debate.
I'm just saying. I think from what I've seen of him in recent time, especially now that like Nottingham Forest are in this title race, pretty much. He's a really talented player, and we've been linked with him for some time. For a center back shout, I don't think he's a bad shout at all. I just don't think it's going to happen in January. To be honest, you might be right. This one might be the one that happens. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Thomas Araujo. This one might be the most likely option, or Lukeba. Those might be ones that come in January if we do any business in January. That's what I think. You got Javon saying, big up Javon, by the way, big up to Final Whistle Podcast. Ignacio. I don't know if Ignacio, where is Ignacio from again? Hold on. Is that Inter? No. Oh, Sporting. Maybe. There are some shouts out there. It's just, I don't think it's going to be the ones that we want, the targets that we want in the league. So, but yeah, Araujo is my number one pick for a center back to come in. Oh, not Araujo. I'm sorry, Murillo. But yeah. I don't know what else there is to say on this one, really. I mean, Mark Guehi, I just don't know. I don't think so. I don't see Chelsea going backwards for a player that they got rid of. It's not agenda. I think he's a good player, but I just don't think. I think we can do better. They're probably going to ask for a decent chunk of change, which again, I'm okay with that. Also, you got to take into a factor that we do have Aaron Alsamino coming into the club in the summer, and he's one of the few young talented names that are really highly touted to make an appearance for this club's starting team. So let's get into the final topic of tonight's stream. Ladies and gents, big up to you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoyed the return of the Casually Chelsea show. I will be making sure to do this as often as possible. I know with the schedule it's been very difficult, but I do apologize. But yeah, we're back. and we're going to try to make this frequent again, at least once a week. But let's move on to the final topic of today's show, which I think is a little bit be a fun way to end the stream, is everyone's favorite left back that we seem to always, throw that name when we're talking about getting a left back into the club. Alphonso Davies is being monitored. And you know what? It's actually legitimate. So we have The Athletic here reporting that Chelsea are monitoring Bayern Munich left back Alphonso Davies. Yeah. Listen, you guys know I'm not a big fan of Alphonso Davies. I think he's a good player, but I think he's so overrated by so many people that in the fandom.
It's true, bro.
It is true, bro. He is overrated, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. It doesn't have to be yours. But, hey, monitoring doesn't necessarily mean we're going to go get him. But I think he's in a situation right now where I think his contract ends in the summer. It could be that situation. I don't remember. Yeah. So if we can get him on a free, I'm not going to say no. I think he could be a pretty valuable player for the team if we can get him on a free. Obviously, that could spell trouble for Renato Vega, but Renato Vega is versatile enough that he has abilities to, perform at center back or at midfield as a CDM. Like, he'll find his way. But Alphonso Davies, I'll admit, Alphonso Davies is better than Renato Vega, obviously. Is he better than Cucurella?
What?
Disrespectful. I'm fast.
Okay.
I do the technique. You know what I mean?
He has the technique. He's fast. I don't know. Oliver, where do you stand on this, man?
I'm going to take a different view, like a completely different perspective on this. I think, this is at least how I'd do it if I were calling the shots. If we had to get Alphonso Davies, we're not getting him to play left back. He's a winger. That's the way I see it. Like, just the way we use our fullbacks.
You're gonna do the Chilwell treatment on him.
I am not a clown.
Well, the way we use our fullbacks, like, that's not Alphonso Davies. He does not invert. He does not stay back to be a centre back in a back three. He is a wing back in effect. Even in a back four, he is a wing back. He gets high, he gets crosses in, he tries to beat his man. Like, he's not a Maresca fullback, and obviously much better than Ben Chilwell. Like, of course, Ben Chilwell's nowhere near it, but
Say that. You won that debate.
Of course. But just in general, like, we're not making our fullbacks. It's in very rare instances are we making our fullbacks overlap. I think we did it once, and that was with Cucurella giving the width for Felix to come inside. But besides that was one instance out of 20, even more games. So, if we're going to use that tactic that rarely, then I don't see the point of us profiling him as a fullback. I think he should be a winger, and maybe that's to offer something different, because Sancho being a right-footed left winger, maybe you have Davies as a left-footed left winger. I don't know. That's my perspective, and he was a winger before being converted into a left back. And I know the Chilwell thing was a joke, but that's the difference. But actually, I can't say that for sure. I don't know if Chilwell was a winger before, but regardless, he has the skill set to play high and wide. So if we were to do it, that's how I would go about it. Will we do that? I don't know. And would he even join the club? I don't know. Are Madrid still interested? Could Manchester United, do you think?
No. Hold on. I think he could join the club. He has stated multiple times he holds Chelsea to high regard. So, like, convincing Davies to join Chelsea, I won't think will be an issue at all. Like, I think he would like to join Chelsea, especially if we go into UCL football next season. I think that's no issue at all. He's a Chelsea. Yeah, thank you, Ha. I'm pretty sure he stated he's a Chelsea fan. He likes Chelsea a lot. Now, Jason, have you ever seen Alphonso Davies plays as a 10? I haven't. Maybe he has played in the midfield or like in the left wing, for Canada, but the number 10 position has always been either Kone, I believe, who plays for Canada, as well as Jonathan David. So, no, I don't think he can invert. I don't think he can do what Cucurella does.
Definitely not for Bayern either.
Yeah, definitely not for Bayern. However, this news kind of does make sense because we remember last summer, Chelsea came out and said, we're going to try to go for more opportunistic signings. This, to me, screams opportunistic signing. Right? I think so.
I mean, as a free, you'd have to say so. Yeah.
Yeah, as a free, it seems like an opportunistic signing. Listen, I Vester, you said it already. That this is the biggest reason I think he's so overrated. Because in terms of 1v1 defending, I don't think he's that guy. I think he's still, like I said, this is agenda. Listen, I'm honest when I say I have an agenda, people, okay? But when it comes to Alphonso Davies, I think he's living off of how he ripped Nelson Semedo when he was at Barca to shreds. I really think he's living off of that.
What? Disrespectful.
Say what you want to say, but that's my 2 cents on Alphonso Davies. I think he's so overrated. However, I do like the player.
I remember when I first saw him that season, when he burned Reece James alive. Oh my god, that was something else.
That was a very young Reece James.
No, yeah. It's not a stick to beat Reece James with. Oh, he was very good that season.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think he's just a pace merchant. I really do with Alphonso Davies. But listen, I respect the player. I respect what he can do. I just don't think he's better than Cucurella. And like Oliver said, I think he would be more of a left wing option, which he does play left wing for Canada. I've seen him play for Canada a few times now. So yeah, I think this is an opportunistic signing if I've ever seen it. I kind of hope it happens because I would love to have a player like Alphonso Davies at the club. I think that raises the floor, right? Or actually, no, it raises the floor. Yeah, I think it raises the floor at Chelsea. Not that I don't think we really need to raise the floor, but why not? Let's just raise the floor. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else there is. I don't think Vega. Okay, come on now, calm down, bro. Vega is shit, and Maresca don't trust him. Vega is not shit. Vega is solid. Vega is a solid player, man. Just because he had one bad game or 2 bad games in the Premier League where he started out of like CDM and then he gets a better performance in the second half. Come on now, let's calm down on Vega. Vega will prove you wrong against Everton. You will see he will have a good performance.
You're behind the best left back in the world. What are we doing here?
Yeah, arguably the best left back in the world. I mean, I think he is the best left back in the world, but he's also Vega's also how old? 20?
Oh, he's young. Maybe, yeah, he's young.
He's super young. He's the one that raises the ceiling. 21. No, he's a good player, man. Renato Vegas is a good player. But yeah, and listen, you know what? I'm glad you said this, Toyo, because with the whole Mudryk thing happening, this could potentially be something where we take advantage of this because we could be going back into the market for another winger. You know what I'm saying? Or Tariq George plays. I don't know. Alphonso Davies is not young anymore. Alphonso Davies is, I think, at least 25 now.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I mean, I think he was a teenager when he in that breakout season.
24. So. Alphonso Davies is 24 years old. Yeah. So
yeah,
I guess he is still young. Yeah. So it maybe raises the floor and he raises the ceiling a bit. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, we'll see. I think it makes sense in terms of an opportunistic signing. I feel like there is a good player in Alphonso Davies, even though I have an agenda. I wouldn't mind him coming to Chelsea. I don't hate him. I just think he's so fucking overrated. But that being said, any final thoughts, Oliver, before we call it a night?
Just before we do, I'd just say, regardless of him being a Chelsea fan, and that could obviously, in some cases with players, play a factor. you know, if Real Madrid have a historic interest in him, if they come knocking, no one says no to Madrid. So does that interest still exist? That's the question I'd be asking to close out the segment, I'd say.
Yeah. We'll see. Time will tell with this one. We'll keep an eye on it because this is if Chelsea do get Alphonso Davies through the door, that's a big signing. That's a big signing. So yeah, we'll monitor it. I'm sure it'll come back up in discussion, guys. But that being said, that's it, ladies and gents. We wrapped it up. That's the Casually Chelsea show. Woo! Man, it's been a while since it's been a whole 3 hours. 3 weeks, man. I feel like I'm getting back into match fitness. And yeah, Oliver, big up to you too, because you did the 3 hours as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but yeah, big up to everyone. Thanks so much for joining in today's show. Thank you for your participation. And thank you once again to Hassan for the raid. We do appreciate it. Ladies and gents, I am going to be running a stream over on my channel in about an hour. If you guys want to see like a Christmas, chill sesh over on my personal channel down in the description below. We're playing some games, hanging out. I don't even know what we're doing yet, but I gotta go eat and then figure that out. Thank you for the 50 likes, guys. If you are on your way out, over 100 of you watching or listening, be sure to smash the like as well. It does help out the channel tremendously. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Once again, big up to Don Hussam. I can't thank him enough for the raid. And be sure to check out our memberships, guys. There's 4 different tiers starting at 99p. And when you are a proper casual, you get the perk of getting a shout out at the end of every show. And that's going to go out to TM, 127, EE, Hassan Nawaz, Dark, Adrian A, Solomon, Scott, Josh CFC, M3, Aiwani, Gabriel, and Banana. Big up to you guys and big up to all our members who help support the channel and keep the lights on here and keep this channel growing and going. But we're going to be raiding out to Sarcasm City. I believe they are still live. Let me just double check before I send out this raid. But yeah, they should be live. Yep, they are. So let Flawless know where you guys are coming from by copying and pasting that message. Show them some love. And we'll see you guys again tomorrow for our reaction to the Everton match. And that should be a fun one. So stay tuned. Hopefully, if things go well, we will be in first place before Liverpool go on, and put the pressure on. And maybe by the time stream starts, we will be having a discussion that we are in first place or tied for first place. Because I believe if Liverpool draw and we win, we are tied for first place, and we could be first. Actually, let's dispel this notion. Let's see. Well, actually, it depends on the game. We could be first through goal difference. Who knows? But yeah, ladies and gents, we'll discuss that tomorrow. We are not in a title race.
Say that. You won that debate.
But we might be tomorrow. So we'll discuss. Ladies and gents, thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful night. If I don't see you before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas. And if I don't see you before the end of the new year, have a good New Year. And stay casual as always. Thank you so much for the love. Have a good night, guys. Peace.